Mhm. Alrighty, let me get this set up real quick. All right. Hey there, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you indeed are, good to see you. On a little late tonight. A little bit late. But I don't know. We'll see how long we go tonight. Hold on one second. Let me. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. Hey there. Are you here? Are you here? If you're here, tap the screen. Tap the screen. It's NFL Sunday. We're just a figment of your imagination, Anita. I didn't know. I didn't see any comments yet. I was like, wait, is anybody here? I looked up. There was a few people here. But as always, I thank everybody for joining. We're going to take it, play it by ear tonight. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for starting us off with the popular vote. I know that helps the algorithm, and it also helps our FYP being on the FYP. So thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate anybody that is here. Hey, Lynn Beeman, good to see you. We had a good party last night, Gretzky. Thank you for asking. Had a fun time, hang out with friends. Saw some people I haven't seen in a while, so it was a good time. So thank you for asking. Hello, Matt. So yeah, we had a nice time, and then today went watched football with friends, and I gotta be honest, my head's kind of pounding. I'm not feeling all that great. Somebody might say, well, you probably should have just taken the night off, and it's possible that I still do. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to hit the live button, see how it goes, and then we'll play it by ear. But if you are here, please share the live, and please tap the screen if you don't mind. And we'll see what we could do to kick this thing off and get started. I'm going to share the live out a little bit more here. So thank you guys. Thank you for helping out there. Might be a slow night. Who knows? I hope you start to feel better soon. Thank you, Elevated Goddess. A goddess. We have a goddess in the house. Nice. Thank you for saying that. I hope I feel better too. I think a good night's sleep will help me. But sometimes you just got that headache that is right up here, right in the front of your freaking head, and it hurts. It does. But I said, let's hit the live button. Let's see how we do. Let's see if we can get any Trump supporters to come on up. I know they're few and far between now. A little embarrassed. Yeah, Amethyst, sleeping it off is a very good idea. But we are losing Trump supporters left and right. Did y'all hear about Doge? Doge is already done. Oh, Andy supports him. Well, come on up, Andy. Doge is no longer. Shorted 8 months. Tylenol. Yes, David, I'm going to take Tylenol. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you for the recommendation. Ray, how about them James Madison, the number 20 team in the country. Maureen, thank you. Twisted, thank you. Katrina, thank you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the guest request. Like I said, they're few and far between, not too many of them left. We're still waiting on the Doge check, but I guess we're not getting that anymore because Doge no longer exists. Doge has been X'd, if you will. Oh, thank you, Tamara. Thank you so much for the confetti. We do have a confetti goal, and thank you for getting that started for us, Tamara. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, Doge is no longer. Basically, what they did is say, Elon, go ahead and dismantle the departments who are investigating your companies will pretend like you did something to help Americans. We're going to have a right-wing propaganda media that's going to tell all the people that we did such a great job of getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. So far, it's been my understanding, unless anybody would like to correct me, Cindy, thank you so much, that there's been nobody charged in any fraud cases that had found. Has anybody seen? Thank you, Barb. Thank you so much. Has anybody seen anybody been charged in the fraud, waste, and abuse findings? Doge is a joke. Doge just basically replaced the what are they called? The inspectors generals who were doing that job anyway, and got rid of them and just said, hey, I'm going to bring in some 18-year-old interns, grab all Americans' information. We're going to probably share it with Russia. And but we have a group of people in this country that we know will believe anything that we tell them because they are simpletons. Thank you, hippie lady. Thank you, Carol. Carol. Thank you very much, Carol. Inside joke between Carol and I. Seeker, thank you so much. Thank you, Carol. But Richard, thank you. I appreciate the rose, Richard. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the guest request. Thank you, hippie lady. Thank you for the confetti. Getting closer to that confetti goal, so I appreciate that. But if you are a Trump supporter, come on in. Come say hello. Tonight might be a good night to talk to me because I'm like relaxed and chill because my head hurts and I don't know. Thank you, Richard. There's that open-minded guy. Maureen, thank you so much, Maureen. The guy from Sweden or some shit who tells me about how Trump is awesome. There's King E, our friend King E. Hi, King. Good to see you, pal. Babs, thank you so much for the rose. Thank you so much. Last night, I had a good time, very good time. Saw some people I hadn't seen in a while, and we just had fun. You know, you get together and you just have fun. And then I went to the bar today and watched football, and I'm kind of worn out. It is a MAGA headache, hippie lady. Yeah. Did I vote for Kamala? Her? Of course I did. I mean, what? I'm educated and smart. Rosie and Glenn, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you are here and you're new and you have not followed me yet, I'd appreciate a follow. I really haven't said anything where you'd go like, well, why would I follow this guy? Carol, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the heart me. Rosie, thank you so much. Right now, you'd probably say, oh, there's no reason. Hi, Sky. There's no reason to follow this cat. He hasn't said anything of interest or anything that I would follow him for. But if you can just take my word for it, I think if you watch it long enough, you'll like it. Hi, Courtney. I think you will. Roxfox says I'm hilarious. Listen, look, Roxfox said it, that I'm hilarious. Thank you from my corner for the rose. Brian is intelligent and has class. The reviews are coming in. Thank you, hippie lady. There's King E saying the greatest person on the history of the something or something. Here I am here I am thinks I'm a geek. Boy, I haven't heard that term in a long time. Geek. All right. I mean, fuck it. I'll give it to him. You were not suckered into anything, Suzanne. Would you like to come up and talk to me about it, ma'am? I think tonight's the night because I'm not feeling it. I just don't feel it. So I hope I say something enough to get people to follow me. Big B, funny and knows his stuff. See, I told you, Maureen. Brian is hilarious. My kid and me love his reaction to getting a monkey. Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. I love those monkeys. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian? Well, educated and smart. You believe in unaliving innocent babies? Kraft, come on up and talk. Wait, Kraft, let me see. Kraft is, sorry guys, Kraft is a bot. So if you see Kraft in the chat, that's just a bot. Pay no attention to Kraft. Muncha, Brian is funny, smart, and has great taste in baseball, teams, and music. It's a great time, Muncha says. You see? Thank you, Muncha. Baseball. I love when she says that. I fucking love it. Brian, actually, this might be my favorite live because I have people just giving me nice reviews. It is an ego booster. Greek says Brian is smart and mixes humor with facts. Yes. Crazy, huh? Facts. Brian has costumes. Carrie, yes. I mean, no other debater has costumes. Carrie, right? Who else has a judge, a ringmaster, a king, a monkey MAGA slayer, and a twin set of sisters who talk shit about their stupid MAGA son? Come on. And who knows? I might add more. Maybe some of you MAGA people will inspire me. I voted for him for freedom. Let me see. Marge, or is Marge a bot? Let me see. Hold on. Where did Marge go? Or MAGA. Wait, what? MAGA. MAGA repellent. I am terrible, by the way, at reading some of these names. Awful. That's comedy in itself, trying to watch me read some of these names. But MAGA repellent, by the way, is another bot. So pay no attention to MAGA repellent. Just another silly little bot. Thank you for coming by, Vladimir Putin. Coach, MAGA has run out of talking points in their defense for their dad. Yeah, Coach. I mean, if anybody knows, it's a coach. Coach knows. Coach knows what he's talking about. They're out of the game, right, Coach? We're blowing them out. They took out their starters. Could you imagine their bench players? Holy shit. Yikes a daisy. Their starters are, but when they bring in the bench players, oh, David loves what I do, the judge. Yeah, Courtney says request up, MAGA. Come on up. It is all about the U, Too Sweet. We need to get in those playoffs. I really, really, really need to see them at least there. If they lose, they lose, but I want to see them in there. I have to see them in that playoff. MAGA repellent, a bot. We already discovered that that's a bot. So MAGA is so strong, you can tell by the bots they need to fight their fight. Yes. Suzanne says she's waiting. Is she? Oh, look. All right. Zach, at least Zach has the balls to come out. Zach, did you know that last night, do you know who Hoodlum is on this site?
Not off the top of my head, no.
You've never heard of Hoodlum?
I mean, no.
Okay, well, he ordered all Trump supporters to never come up to my live ever again, so I guess you don't take orders from Hoodlum.
No, I certainly do not take orders from anyone named Hoodlum.
There you go. All right, well, what brings you up tonight, Zach?
Well, I'm wondering at what point people will start to realize that the things that I've been saying about Trump being a populist, enacting, leftist policies under the guise of being a Republican. Wonder when that's going to start ringing true for you guys. Is it going to take an actual working relationship with Mamdani, or was the hangout enough?
Did he do that in his first term?
His first term, he was fighting against the Republican establishment that hamstringed him on literally every issue. So you have to understand, he's not loved by the Republicans. The Republican
He's not loved by anybody, Zach. He's not loved by anybody.
I know.
In fact, even the people around him, the Heritage Foundation doesn't love him. J.D. Vance doesn't love him. Stephen Miller doesn't love him. All they love is what he can bring for them. And Donald Trump is not a populist. And Donald Trump isn't even a fascist, Zach, because Donald Trump is not smart enough to have a political view of his own. He's a monkey, and he's being used by the Heritage Foundation and Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance. I know you know this. So to give Donald Trump credit for anything, good or bad at this point anymore, is not even really something I'm interested in doing, because I am convinced that he is just not bright enough for this, and he's being completely used by really dangerous, awful people.
And so when he was trying to work with the richest man on earth who had created, electric cars and reusable rockets, and then you guys didn't like that.
Who said that? What are you talking about? Wait, Zach, can we do each other a favor here? Because I try to be respectful, I think, right? We've had respectful conversations.
We've had respectful conversations, of course.
All right, can you do me a favor and stop with this you guys thing and just talk to me? I don't know what you guys is.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
Okay, thank you.
My belief is that if you asked yourself, just as a hypothetical question, what would happen if a man showed up to Washington, if Mr. Smith came to Washington and his goal was to upend the system, to drain the swamp, to deconstruct both the uniparty that has power on both the Republican and Democratic side and has had power for now 50 years plus. Mm-hmm. What would happen to that person? What do you think the system of events would be? Now, let's say it's not Donald Trump, it's some other guy. What would happen to that person?
I mean, are you trying to lead into that's why they tried to unalive him? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, I think that there was a lot that happened before they tried to unalive him, but certainly that would be probably one of the things.
Who tried to unalive him?
Well, whoever
the
tried to unalive him. I think that even if what happened was that there was enough rhetoric created around him being a literal A, threat to democracy, and B, Schnazi, and someone took it upon themselves to go, you could say that it was either I'd say conspiratorial to say that, the system tried to off him, but you could certainly say that the system, through their rhetoric and their power, did everything they could to enable citizens to take, justice into their own hands, as determined by gullible citizens.
You think that, so I don't understand what you're saying. Do you think that kid, who, by the way, was by all measures a Trump supporter, his family was Trump supporters, so I don't know why.
Why is it that you think that because someone's family is a Trump supporter, that they are Trump supporters? Like, do you know that almost every liberal in America
it's a fair
has
question.
A family that is a Trump supporter.
That's a fair question.
And that's why they're liberal.
But I think maybe the reason why I brought that up is because his family was a Trump supporter, and it didn't appear as if he was any different than his family. There's absolutely no proof whatsoever, obviously, that he was a Democrat or a liberal. We both agree there, correct?
We're talking about the Kyle or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
I don't know
that's the Charlie Kirk.
I don't know too much about him, but the point is if you go up and you try to unalive a Republican, you can tell me that person is a Republican, to which I say, okay, they weren't acting very Republican.
But I'm clearing up the point, though. Is that what you're trying to suggest, that Donald Trump is so dangerous that they try to take him out? Is that what you were trying to suggest earlier? Yes or no?
No, I want to be really clear. I think that is the least, solid of all of the accusations, meaning that there's nothing I can really tie other than rhetoric.
All right, maybe start over, because my head hurts and I'm not paying attention as well as I normally do. So maybe try to explain to me what you're trying to say.
So what I'm saying is that what would happen is that first they would try to delegitimize the person. Well, actually, first they would try to work with them. First they would try to
give me an idea of who they is.
The system, the blob.
System. Do we know who the system is?
The insidious creep of corporate capture and greed, personified in all of our government, for the most part, that has taken money and been on the government teat for a very long time.
And I have to go along with your premise here, and I will, just for the sake of the discussion, and then we'll clear it up. But do I have to go along with the premise that Donald Trump is anti-establishment and anti-corporation, and he's for the little guy and trying to put money in their pockets and take it out of the corporation's pockets? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
So like most populists, I would say that it's sort of irrelevant whether Donald Trump cares about the little guy, because I think that what gives populists power is that they fight on behalf of the little guy, right?
Can you give me an example of how he's done that?
I mean, no tax on tip, no tax on overtime. That's something that could have been done by any administration before this.
First of all, Zach, come on, man. Let's not play games with each other. The no tax on tips and no tax on overtime is something very small in this bill that was passed. What? It's good for 2 years. That's number one. Number two, it's not like anybody that works on taxes or on overtime. I mean, on tips or on overtime. It's not like they get a paycheck and you don't see taxes not coming out and they get paid that way. It's just when they go and file their taxes, they'll get a small tax break, and it helps less than
just
two.
to be clear,
It helps less. Sir, let me just finish the statement.
Sorry.
It helps less than 2% of the population. So this population movement seems pretty shitty when the number one thing that you came up with helps less than 2% of the population.
So if it was so shitty and significant and so unhelpful, why didn't anyone do it beforehand?
Because Donald Trump is a sucker machine, and Donald Trump, that's his whole shit.
No.
Hold on, I'm answering your question.
Don't talk about Donald Trump.
I'm answering
Why did nobody before Donald Trump do it?
I'm answering your question because if you just let me finish, Zach, just please. Okay, sometimes I know I ramble on and it can be annoying, and I will apologize if anybody thinks that, but just please let me finish. And maybe sometimes the way I get there could be annoying, but what I'm saying is that Donald Trump didn't really do that. So we still haven't done that for the American people, the no tax on tips or no tax on overtime. There'd be a much more serious way of doing this. And why not make it permanent if he's really for the people? Why is that something? But my guess is, I'm surmising here, and I think it's a pretty good one, that Donald Trump said that knowing that it wasn't going to be what people thought it was going to be, but it just sounded good to them, so you could sucker them into voting for you. And then all you had to do is get in office and make sure that we have billionaires become trillionaires.
So just to be clear, when Bernie Sanders ran on no taxes on tips, what kind of an idea was that?
But I think Bernie Sanders would have actually put in a more solid plan. I don't think his fight would have been I actually, honestly, I don't think Donald Trump even knows about the no tax on tips plan. In that, I think if you asked him tomorrow, or tonight, I think he would have no idea how to explain it. Bernie Sanders would 100% know how to explain it. Bernie Sanders would 100% know exactly what he would want to do and what that would look like. Donald Trump has no clue on either.
Brian,
yes,
it is fair to say.
Thank you.
That you don't think that Donald Trump knows these things, but except that Donald Trump did these things. And my entire point,
But he didn't know. But he didn't.
One second. Say, Brian, give me a second. Let me.
All right. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that he is a populist like Bernie Sanders. When he has enacted, if you look at the Sovereign Wealth Fund, that's a Bernie Sanders idea. Trump RX, that's a Bernie idea. No tax on tips, that's a Bernie idea. Investing in companies like Intel, that's a Bernie idea.
Yeah.
Like you can continue to tell me that he's like just not smart enough to do these things.
He's not. He's absolutely not
arguing against the facts, and the facts.
No, I know, but Zach, I've already explained to you the no tax on tips thing is a nothing. It's nothing. It's helping.
It's not a nothing. Sir.
Hold on. It is a nothing. It is a nothing. It is helping almost nobody. That's number one. It helps less than 2% of the population. It helps nobody. This RX thing that you're talking about, the pharmaceutical thing, that's just another money-making scheme for Donald Trump. That's all that is. That has nothing to do with helping the American people. He's controlled the House, the Senate, the presidency, and in essence, the Supreme Court, because it appears like they're going to just do whatever the fuck he tells them to do. And so far in his presidency, there's not one thing when you poll the American people, if he's a populist like Bernie Sanders, why are the people incredibly upset about what's happening in this country? Why is every single economic question being asked on a poll where he is deeply underwater? Why is he so unpopular right now when he's being polled? He is the least popular president this soon into his presidency, and the only record he beat was his last time. So he's even doing worse now. If he's the populist for the people, why are the people so pissed off?
because the system is not an insignificant power. The system has the power to shape people's minds. They've been able to control the American people for the last 50 years through getting them to believe and focus on this thing and this thing and this thing, except for the.
Are you a socialist, a democratic socialist, Zach?
I mean, I certainly hold a lot of their views. I don't necessarily think a lot of their.
Then why would you vote for Donald Trump?
Because, as I said, I am aware and have always been aware that he is the populist reformer of our age.
But what gave him, again, Donald Trump ran over a lot of federal judges. Donald Trump just did whatever he wanted to do this time around. Why didn't he do that his first term? What populist things did he do and pass during his first term when he controlled the Senate and the House?
Nothing during his first term. And
didn't they win the House and the Senate in his second?
I'm answering your question.
In the midterms?
Let me just answer your question.
Uh-huh.
In 2016,
no.
when he was running for president, right, in the primaries, which I believe actually he was because Hillary Clinton wanted him to be a third party upset campaign candidate, but he gets into the thing, and his whole message is, I want to drain the swamp. Unfortunately, because he's Donald Trump and not Jeb Bush that year, he gets stuck with like the literal third string political consultants of the world, right? And then he ends up becoming the candidate. Those third string consultants stay his people. And then when he gets into office, he has to appoint 4,000 people immediately in day one. I don't know if you know how that happens, but generally he doesn't choose those 4,000 people. They farm that out. And so what happened was Donald Trump, the guy who was openly coming in saying, I'm going to drain the motherfucking swamp, gets stuck with a literal.
He's a bumper sticker.
He gets stuck with an entire administration full of swamp monsters.
It's up to him to hire all those swamp monsters, and it was his decision. His decision to hire. So that tells me that Donald Trump is a bad decision maker, just based on what you said, and he's been a bad decision maker all the way through. Explain to me. Do you think Bernie Sanders is for the subsidies for the ACA? Yes or no?
Probably yes, which again...
No, that's not a probably, Zach. That's about as obvious of a yes as you could possibly get. So why is it that Donald Trump is not demanding they continue the subsidies for the ACA if he's such a populist?
So again, there's a difference between populists who have grown up and lived in government, where the only solutions they understand are giving the bad systems more money to do more bad work, whereas Donald Trump, who has never existed formally in government in his entire life, who only ever had to run businesses that had actual outcomes that had to be produced.
And he did them poorly. Did it at a cost-effective way. Horribly. He did it poorly.
Not true, though.
Oh, it is true. Actually, we already went over this, Zach.
It is impossible for you to tell me that a multi-billionaire who has had success in multiple industries is like...
I know I'm not going to convince you, Zach, but it's like I said, it's so obvious. It's up to you if you want again. And it looks to me and it sounds to me like you've looked into this. Not at all. You have not bothered to look into this at all. The fact of the matter is, Zach, you have no idea who this clown behind me is if it's not for his daddy. I know you guys keep saying this. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire because of his daddy, and now he's a billionaire because he has learned. I don't think Bernie Sanders would ever start his own meme coin. How is that helping the American people? I don't think he'd be selling his own Bibles and sneakers and watches. That is not somebody that is for the people. That is somebody that grifts the people. Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are nowhere near the same person. This guy cares about one thing and one thing only: putting money in his pocket. Somebody like Bernie Sanders he's been fucking studying for years about what kind of healthcare plan he wants in place. You keep asking this guy he's been in politics now since 2015, and he still can't tell us what a fucking healthcare plan? He can't come up with one. He says, I'll have it in 2 weeks, or I've got concepts of one. This is not somebody that is anywhere near on the same level as Bernie Sanders or anybody else that you're trying to pass off to me. Bernie Sanders can't stand the guy. AOC can't stand the guy. Mamdani can't stand the guy. So I don't know where you're trying to push this idea and trying to fool me that Donald Trump, first of all, is some brilliant genius that has all these master plans. I'm waiting, Zach. Maybe you can convince me when he starts pushing forward some of these master plans that actually help the American people instead of hurt them.
But again, sovereign wealth fund, Trump RX, investing in Intel.
I got it. Trump RX is a money-making scheme. Another Trump RX is a meme coin. Trump RX is another meme coin. That's what that is. Money is going to be funneled into his pocket through Trump RX one way or another. He is a grifter, Zach. Like, how is it that you sound like an intelligent man and you don't see what I see? This is clear as day. This clown doesn't care about anybody. Maybe you've got a lot of money, Zach, and you're trying a tactic here. And the tactic is, I'm going to go out and convince the people that Donald Trump is more like you leftists, so you can start loving Donald Trump because he helps you and your pocketbook, Zach. That may be the tactic here. I don't know how it's going to work on a small TikTok. I don't know how it's going to work on a small TikTok live, but I don't know if that's the tactic here, Zach. But it's not going to work on me.
I'll tell you the tactic. I'll tell you it's very simple. Donald Trump is a weird anomaly in power. I think he's doing leftist things. I think he
should have stopped at weird.
One second. But his power base comes from like the most virulent, red, he's got the red power base completely in his pocket.
Uneducated white males. That's who the Republicans have been they have been attacking them for decades now. So they're easy to get and they know it.
Great. So whoever it is that got him into power, that is who gives him power, right? Like they charge his battery, his ability to.
And Elon Musk got him in, and so did Vladimir Putin.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
It's not just the red power base. So then he takes this red power base, he gets elected. Instead of putting a bunch of red people in his cabinet, he gets Tulsi Gabbard, who was the only Democrat saying.
Zach, again, please don't try to fool me.
Let me finish.
I will, but please, I just don't like when people try to fool me, and I'm going to stop that when people sucker me. You think that Tulsi Gabbard is are you going to say RFK Jr. next? Please don't, because again, you're not going to sucker me into thinking that RFK Jr.'s own family can't stand him.
Brian.
Yeah.
There was only one candidate on the debate stage in 2016 on the Democratic side that said the words military-industrial complex.
She's a grifter. She's another grifter, Zach. You guys can be suckered by this all you want to.
About people who
She's a grifter, and so is RFK Jr. They're both grifters. They're not Democrats, Zach. They're not these people who opened up their eyes and go, holy shit, Donald Trump is more like me. These people are grifters who just try to advance in life, and they will do it any way they can. That's why they will go with one of the most horrible people and the person that's going to go down and already has gone down as the worst president in the history of this country. You think that you're going to bring up Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. to me, and I'm going to go, well, gosh, I didn't think about that. Those were real. No Democrat thinks of those two as Democrats. Nobody does. In fact, we've got other ones like Joe Manchin and this other clown from Pennsylvania.
But there's a really easy reason why. If you as a Democrat or as a Republican, by the way, say military-industrial complex, which is a real thing with real power, then what do? What is their response? Their response is to make you a grifter. Right? Their response is to make the world think that you're just.
She's got a questionable past.
No,
nothing 100% proven, but she's questionable on some ties with Russia.
That is what the system does when they want to destroy someone. It's what they did, by the way, to the doctors who helped Michelle Obama try to make healthy food in our lunchboxes. They did the same thing. It does not matter who you are.
Zach,
if you fight the system, the first thing they do is they delegitimize you.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's an easy out too, because now you can make excuses and you could stick with your lane. You could stay in your lane that Tulsi Gabbard is somebody that really fought hard for the Democratic Party, and all they're trying to do is take her down because she's telling the truth that the Democrats don't like. I know everybody loves conspiracy theories. I know everybody loves inside baseball. And I get it.
Democrats
I
and
know
the
that there is
Republicans.
inside baseball, and I know that there are conspiracy theories, and I know there is a morsel of truth to a lot of the things that we can bring up. And that's the problem, though, Zach, with these conspiracy theorists is if there's any morsel of truth, you guys now make it truth. And it is truth, and there's no arguing with it. And that is frustrating because
I'm not bringing any sort of thing. All I'm saying is that if you can't just look independently and be like, hey, why is the only person who's talking about the military industrial complex suddenly a crazy person?
Looking independently is code for conspiracy theorist. Looking independently those are the easiest code. Zach, I mean, do you think I'm dumb?
I mean, I think you have been duped, dude.
I know, Zach. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think you've been duped, and one of us is right. And I have a very, very, very good feeling that I'm the one that's right about you being duped. I'm almost positive about it because you still think that Donald Trump was some brilliant businessman who made billions of dollars because of his brilliance. And you failed still to look into the truth of that matter. And that's just not true. I'm not saying Donald Trump wasn't able to pull off some deals here and there and put some money in his pocket. I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is, had it not been for his rich father, passing away, and if it hadn't been for Mark Burnett being talked into putting Donald Trump on that Apprentice show, there's no way he's president of the United States, and you might not even know who he is if it's not for his father. Actually, I know you wouldn't know what he is if he wasn't for his father. So this idea that he's some sort of self-made billionaire like Warren Buffett or
Donald Trump's father was a boring multifamily owner in Queens. Donald Trump, in his early 20s, goes on and does a massive multi-million-dollar deal to buy the Grand Hyatt in Manhattan that is credited with the resurgence of Manhattan. He spends
in his own book. That's where it's credited, by the way, everybody. It's only credited in his own book, not by anybody else.
What? First off, he's a massive success before his dad dies, which means he doesn't get
he was a massive disaster. No, sir. That's absolutely not true. He was a success. You know where he was a success? In the court of dumb opinion is where he was or suckered. Because Donald Trump was a success in one thing, is he was good at marketing himself as a business genius when he wasn't. Same thing he's doing as president, marketing himself as a brilliant political mind when he's not. That's what he's good at. He is the number one snake charmer of all time, Zach. He's a dummy charmer is what I call him. He knows how to charm dummies.
You sound like those guys who sit on their couch and say, Tom Brady, he fucking sucks, man.
I would never say anything like that in my life because I know the difference. Tom Brady, even though I'm not a Patriots fan, and in fact, I hate the Patriots, and I was very jealous of their success. Not one time did I ever say anything negative about Tom Brady. The guy was, there's almost no argument that he can go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. So don't put words in my mouth, Zach. And you made a bad analogy because I would never do anything like that. If I found out that Tom Brady somehow had the game and it was fixed for him, and I read a little bit about that, and that his daddy owned the league, maybe I would then say something about Tom Brady. I read about Donald Trump. I've known about this clown my whole life, Zach. And I know you're from New York, and I know you've got the connections. Maybe this is hitting a little hard for you because you've got a daddy that has helped you out through life. And you resonate with this. And if he doesn't make it without his daddy, maybe you're saying to yourself, well, maybe I couldn't have made it without my daddy. And I know I'm not trying to be rude, but I think that there may be a morsel of truth to that, because if you really look into it, Zach, this guy's a clown. He made bad decision after 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 bad decision. These represent bankruptcies that because he was so bad at business, he needed his daddy to come and buy $3 million of casino chips before his casino shut down. And then, even after his dad did it, the casino still fucking shuts down. The guy's a clown, Zach.
So first off, Brian, I am privileged. I am privileged. I
I'm glad you admit that.
I exist around a ton of very privileged people. I've known privileged people my whole life. And when you know privileged people your whole life, you stop thinking that it is privilege and privilege alone that makes people successful, because you see a ton of privileged people who actually fail. Despite not wanting to fail, despite having all the benefits, despite having dads that do whatever it takes to make them not fail, they fail over and over.
I'm not denying that, Zach. I'm not denying that. I'm talking specifically about Donald Trump.
Succeeds, and you think it's only because of daddy. That just shows that you do not understand the power
Zach,
of daddy.
see, and this is what you're doing. You're conflating, Zach, and this is a problem. So I'm talking specifically about Donald Trump only. So if you bring up the whole group of people, if you want to take each one of them individually, I'm happy to do that. If you had one on your mind, let's take each one individually. That might bore the audience. It might eventually bore me. And I'm not sure you could come up with enough people to where we can actually make our point. I'm only specifically, though, in this instance, I'm talking about Donald Trump. And the reason why I'm making these assertions is because there is legitimate proof that it is not him that was some financial business genius. It was his father, and his father bailed him out numerous times. And if it wasn't for daddy bailing him out, he would never be. Listen, Zach, a lot of these buildings that he has his name on, he didn't even own some of those buildings because he had to become a marketing guy. They said, well, fuck, his name's on here. People think he's something. So we'll keep the brand and we'll pay him. I think one bank paid him $400,000+ a month just to keep his name on the bank so the fucking building wouldn't foreclose. Zach, listen, you love the guy. You're enamored by him. And this is a problem. This is a problem with Americans, is that they get enamored by billionaires. I have no problem with billionaires. I think anybody that makes rich, lavish lifestyles for themselves is the American dream, and I find it awesome. I don't get jealous when I look on TV and I see their houses and their jets and their boats. I'm like, oh, that's fucking pretty cool. However, we're getting to a point now where these people have made it clearer and clearer and clearer that they do not care about the people. They don't care about the American people. And there is going to be a revolt at some point, whether it is sooner or later. A revolt is coming against them because they are taking way too much advantage of their what you call privilege.
Again, I appreciate that you want to chalk all of his multi-billionaire success up to daddy.
I didn't say all of it. I already said, but Zach, you're not listening to the conversation. Yeah, see, you're making up things so you can continue to make a point. I didn't say all of it. And I said, I even said that, yes, Donald Trump may have made some deals here or there that put money in his pocket. And I'm talking about pre-presidency. Now it's a grifter move. Zach, do you agree that it is okay for this dude to have a meme coin where foreign entities can give him money for favors so they could just jack up his little meme coin, and now he's worth $3 billion plus more than he was before he took office? Do you think that that is okay for the president of the United States?
There's not a single thing that Donald Trump can buy now that he couldn't have bought before the presidency.
Zach, yes, he could have, because again, that meme coin has to do with the kind of favors that a president of the United States could do for them. There's absolutely no way the amount of money would be jacked into this stupid crypto coin had he not been president. Zach, come on, you got to understand that that be true. Come on, at least admit that one. Say, you know what, I didn't think about that one. That one, you're right, Brian. At least give me that one.
Again, I think that
Zach, come on, give it to me.
It is quite possible that Donald Trump is happy to enrich himself with his power.
Right. And do you believe that that is good for the president of the United States especially when other Americans are suffering right now? It's not a hard question, Zach, unless you're not a good person.
I don't think Donald Trump is enriching himself at the expense of the American people. I think he is enriching himself because he's being an incredibly successful president. And
I didn't say at the expense of the American people. I said, do you think it's okay for the president of the United States to make himself billions of dollars while other Americans are suffering? And part of the billions that he makes is off the backs of hardworking people, because the sad, pathetic suckers, the same ones who give half of their fucking money to churches who use that money to buy new Corvettes and not to help the church. But these poor people are being suckered because they truly believe the pastor, and in this case, he's the pastor who has suckered these people into saying, I need your money. I need your money. He's still doing all these. Why is he campaigning still? Why is he still sending his voters? Why is he still asking for donations from them?
I'm not aware.
I know you get the emails all the time.
No, I don't. That's what.
You're breaking out on me, Zach. What happened? Zach? Hey, pal.
I'm saying I've never gotten
there you go.
Donald Trump. I've never gotten an email from Donald Trump asking for money.
Okay, all right. Maybe Zach didn't. But would you agree that it is highly probable that many people that have donated to Donald Trump have received emails from Donald Trump still asking for donations?
No.
Give me that one at least.
Why would Donald Trump be asking for donations right now?
That's a phenomenal question, Zach. That is finally, you asked a great question and you stumped me on it. Other than, no, you didn't actually. Why would he do it? Because he's a grifter. He's the preacher of the church who is passing along the fucking plate and saying, put your money in there. What do they call that? When you, what's the fucking term? When you give money to the church out of your paychecks, pither or some shit. I can't remember the name of it. You guys, somebody in there knows. Tithing, yes. And that's exactly what he is doing. He is passing along the plate because he knows more of that money will be going into his pocket. And it's at some point you've started to feel sorry for these people that were given the money. No longer I do. I hope their fucking lights go out.
So to start,
yes.
Sort of weird.
We already started. We started a long time ago.
You would wish harm on Americans in that way.
If you've been warned numerous times, and it's kind of like the child when you say don't touch the fucking stove, it's hot. And finally he touches it and burns himself. What happens? You learn a fucking lesson. And that doesn't mean I want my child to be burned. It just means I want them to fucking learn a lesson after we told them time after time after time after time after time. The fucking stove is hot. It's not a good idea. Don't fucking touch it. But they want to continue to not only touch the stove, they want to lick it. They want to caress it. They want to fuck it, Zach. And it's weird.
I understand that you've wanted to get away from the basic thesis that I came up here to discuss, which is that.
Oh, I thought we got away with it because we debunked it numerous times. You want to go back to it?
I want to go back to the original idea here, which is that Donald Trump is the radical reformer of our age, and his power base is red. But the reason that I'm on these panels is because I very much believe that if we want a bluer revolution, that all it takes is for more of his power base to be
Mom
blue.
Donnie. You like him?
The more blue.
Monkey! Oh, excuse me real quick, Zoc. That's a John Paul monkey. It's my favorite monkey because it's a Beatles monkey. And I love the Beatles very much. And when that Beatles monkey comes on my shoulder, I have to say, you say goodbye and I say hello. Hello, hello.
The more blue.
I don't know why he says goodbye. I say hello. Hello. Hello, monkey. Thank you, John Paul, for that monkey. All right. Sorry, Zach. I was a John Paul monkey. Beatles monkey. You understand. You understand, right? Okay. Are you a Mom Donnie fan? Sounds like you're a big blue guy here all of a sudden, that you're for the populist movement of Bernie Sanders, Zoran Mamdani, and Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm worried about the his sort of historical relationship between Islamists and Marxists, which I believe he's representative of. But I love him as a candidate. I think he's one of the most successful candidates I've ever seen put in front of me. I like
Mamdani.
I like his vibe, but I am he concerns me.
Why? He's a fucking mayor. He doesn't have a magic wand and come in and do anything that he wants to do.
I don't know if you know how Khomeini came to power in Iran, but it was it was a combo of Marxist liberals and radical Islamists that got together and fought against the perceived fascism of the Shah, and then have installed like the most fascistic, fucking tyrannical, dictatorial regime ever.
Zach,
And it's a historical thing that happens, is that crazy fucking leftists love to join up with Islamists.
if
Actually, it's
anybody
Islamists that
is
understand how to go out there.
fascistic, it is this administration. I've never in my life, 54 years, have seen anybody compare this administration to what you saw back in the 30s. Never saw anybody do it. Now there are similar comparisons up and down the board, and to say that this is a far left thing, the far left wants one thing, and well, they want a few things. They want fair pay for Americans. They want free health care for everybody. And they want American people to be able to thrive in a system that is being held back by the GOP, Republicans, and the idea of trickle-down economics, which doesn't work. Donald Trump is the king of trickle-down economics. All he does is cut taxes for wealthy people. That's it. That's not a populist thing. That's not on the same thing. Bernie Sanders, Mamdani, AOC, none of them would talk about cutting corporate tax rates and cutting billions or millions of dollars for multi-billionaires. None of them. In fact, they would raise their taxes. So to even say that Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders have the same idea, Zach, again, that's why I'm shocked you want to go back to it, because it is so absurdly ridiculous that I'm not really sure why you want to continue to go down this path.
Well, here's the thing. Bernie, for all of his great ideas, has never even won a primary, whereas Donald Trump is a now 2-term president. So I would say
we're not comparing.
I would say that
I'm not saying anything. In fact, I voted for Hillary over Bernie. So I don't.
That Donald Trump chooses to push through the policies that I believe come from the same fount of idealism.
This is amazing. So why did he lower the corporate tax rate twice? Why does he continue to lower taxes for the ultra wealthy? In what way is that something that Bernie Sanders would do?
So I believe Scott Bessent just said today or yesterday that since 2017, the effective
tax
revenue from wealthy individuals in America has gone up 7%.
Oh my God. We understand that they pay taxes, Zach. In fact, you know what? They probably should be paying more, but what they do is they hide money in different places, and there's so many loopholes and everything for them that, trust me, I know they're paying
Who do you think understands that system better than Donald Trump?
Every single person in Congress. Donald Trump understands none of this, Zach. I can't believe you think. All right, then give me.
The billionaire.
You know why I say this, Zach?
Doesn't understand tax loopholes?
That is correct. I'm going to say that his accountant probably did. What I'm going to say, Zach, is, again, I'm going to give you the opportunity. I've given you this opportunity ample times. You have failed every time. You have not been able to produce it. And you can DM me. You could do however it is that you want to get it to me. Find me a clip where Donald Trump is sitting down with somebody talking about finances and the taxes and all that stuff, and that you're listening to him and people are enamored by what he's saying, that people are going, holy shit, this is pretty fucking brilliant. Find me one clip where Donald Trump is sitting down talking about anything where you go, holy shit, this guy is fucking brilliant. Everything out of his mouth is either a bumper sticker saying we're going to have the greatest this, that. Nothing. He has nothing of substance about anything. He was interviewed I implore, please, everybody, please. There was this economic council thing in Chicago during the campaign last year. I beg you to go on YouTube and just sit there and listen to the people who definitely understand about the economy and finances and all that stuff. Please watch that and tell me what you heard Donald Trump say during that entire conference, where you went, he's owning the room. People were laughing at him. People were like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. People even tweeted about it afterwards, like, wow, that was horrible. Please go look that up, please. Do you have a clip for me, Zach, that you can play?
I want to be really clear. He's the worst orator of any president I've
No,
ever lived.
it's not. He's a bad order because he's stupid and he doesn't know what he's saying, Zach. It's not because he doesn't know how to put the words together, but he understands the concept of it. It's because he doesn't understand the concept of it. He doesn't truly understand everything. He's had everything handed to him his entire life. He's had everything done for him his entire life. And every time they put him in the big boy chair, he fucked it up, Zach. He's a movie character. He's a
First off,
bumper
you're
sticker.
just wrong about that. You're
No,
just
I'm
so wrong
not.
about that.
I'm
Yes, you
not.
are.
I asked
Yeah,
you to
you
go
are.
read that book, Lucky Loser, and then you use this whole thing. Oh, well, what about them lying about him? They can't lie about him, Zach. They have receipts. I'm going to ask you to go read it. Go read that book, and then tell me what you think. Do a book report. I am now assigning you a book report to read this book, tell me what you think, and debunk everything in that book. He's a game show
Have you seen The
host.
Apprentice yet?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
not The Apprentice. Not The
I
Apprentice.
watched every
the show.
episode.
The Apprentice, the movie.
Yes, the movie.
No,
Absolutely, I
with Sebastian
did.
Stan. With Sebastian Stan.
Yes,
You saw it.
yes, I watched the movie. It's a great movie. Yes,
It's a
I
great
did see
movie,
it.
and it showed
Yes.
you that he was incompetent. Showed you that he was incompetent. Well, then I
It
don't think you
showed
saw
me.
the movie.
It didn't show me though. It didn't show me he was a brilliant businessman. What it did was it just showed me how he became and came to prominence. Now it left out some of the story for sure. It showed me how he tried to rip off his own parents. It showed me how he's a piece of shit. That's
second,
what it
where
showed
did-
me.
one second,
It
where
showed
did
me.
he- one second,
It showed
where
me
in the
how
movie-
he
where in the
raped
movie
his
does he try to rip off
ex-wife.
his own parents? Where in the
You
movie?
didn't.
does it
You don't
show that he's trying to
remember.
rip
You don't.
off his
Re-
parents?
The Apprentice. You don't remember the scene where his father is in the
No.
room and his mother comes in and stops him from signing something. I can't remember exactly what it was that he was supposed to be signing, but his mother came in and stopped him and said, "No, no, 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 you're not doing that." He tried to rip off his own parents. That's also well documented. So, Zach, apparently you either are not wanting to do the research because you're going to find out some facts that if you don't know about it, then you can continue to live through life thinking that he's some sort of genius. It's easier maybe to go through life for you that way. Or you could do the hard thing and maybe do a little bit more research on apparently one of your greatest heroes of all time and just see that he's not as bright, Zach, as you think he is. I'm shocked that you think he is. In fact, Zach, will you take my challenge? Will you send me a clip of where I look at Donald Trump and say, that's fucking genius? Can you do that for me? Anytime in his life. I'll give you the opportunity to find something anytime in his life.
I think it is sad that you think that someone can get elected.
So you're not going to
the
take that
United States
challenge?
Office of president. I think it is sad that you think that someone can get elected to the office
With the help of Vladimir Putin,
in the United States.
with the help of uneducated white men. Yes.
Idiot is what you said.
Yes.
So our country is
Yes.
so bad that
Yes.
we allow an idiot to.
There
to
you
win.
go,
Right.
Zach. You're getting it, pal. Yes, that's exactly what I've been trying to say ever since I've been coming on this fucking app. You nailed
no,
it. I said
Tom Brady
that.
is
That's
just
why I
an idiot.
used this word suckered in all capital letters. Zach, thank you for finally understanding what I have been trying to say for a long time. See, the American people were not prepared for social media and the attack on this country from Vladimir Putin and what they did to social media. And that's where it started, this campaign, this severe campaign of mis and disinformation that helped shape the narrative and thoughts of a Democratic Party, B, Hillary Clinton. Not saying Hillary or the Democratic Party was perfect in any way, but it was so cartoonish of how they shaped it that it made people think, I can't vote for that. And they also did a good job of him coming off The Apprentice. People watched that TV show, actually thought he was some great businessman. That fucking boardroom thing on The Apprentice, it made people think that that was in Trump Tower because he would say it is in Trump Tower. And sure enough, it was in Trump Tower. But when Mark Burnett walked in there and looked around and goes, everything in here is shit. We actually have to build a set to make it look like this idiot's got a boardroom. Oh no, hold on. Don't go anywhere, Zach. So to answer your question, Yes, I do believe a lot of people were suckered. Uneducated white male were the ones to attack. They were able to hold on to them for quite some time, and then they attacked the feeble brains of the 18 to 25-year-olds who listen to dumbass podcasters and YouTubers. And now they're listening to them running around these apps, acting like they know a lot about podcasts because they listen to some workout guy tell them about how much creatine to take and how the libs are woke and they only care about boys playing in girls' sports. So yes, Zach, I do believe a lot of people in this country are politically stupid. And I know that the multi-billion-dollar propaganda machine that knows this took advantage of it. And that's why he won twice. If this were in normal times where we didn't have all this social media bullshit, he wouldn't have ever been able to run. There's no chance. Anyway, Zach, we might have gone on long enough. I appreciate the conversation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want you to, when you hear something about Donald Trump, I just want you to ask yourself.
Sure.
Through the lens of this man is a system fighting like phenom, and the world hates that. Not the world, excuse me.
How about send me proof, Zach? How about send me proof?
So again, by the end of this 4 years, I am quite sure.
Oh, he's not making it 4 years, Zach. He's not making it. He won't be the president by the midterms.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you, Zach, it's not because the Democrats.
I love that. 1 second. I love that. Please make that. That is your prediction. And
yes.
So I'm going to tell you that by the end of 4 years, most people will have realized that he's the populist reformer of our age. You think he'll be gone by midterm. So we'll see.
You know how positive I am, Zach? I made a $100 bet with a previous guest, and I actually clipped it and I posted it on my main page. So that's how confident I am. And I'm going to tell you, Zach, it's going to be a little surprise, maybe for you, maybe not. But it's not going to be because of the Democrats. It's going to be because of the Heritage Foundation and Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance. They are plotting this. They are plotting this.
So just to be clear, the hardcore Republican right, who maybe we both agree are the problem, or part of the problem.
You're not understanding why I'm saying they would do this.
Why would they do this?
They're doing it because the Epstein stuff is going to be too much to bear for them to carry on the torch in 2028. And the sooner that they cut ties with this gentleman, you can laugh all you want to, but the sooner that they cut ties with this guy, the better. And I think you're going to see it. And not to mention, you know, people had a lot to say about Joe Biden and his old age and how he's losing it. If you're not looking at this man right now and seeing a man who is absolutely lost his gourd, he doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He looks like he's going to fall over half the time. Every time somebody asks him a question, what did you say? He's losing it, Zach. He's going to be gone. And when he's gone, that's not going to be a celebration necessarily for the Democrats. I've told people it almost might be better to have Donald Trump go out throughout the rest of this term because he's such a fuck up and he's so bad that we're going to take over in the midterms if they don't cheat. And if they don't cheat and we blow them out in the midterms, which we are suspecting that we will at this point right now, if the election were held next week, it absolutely would. And we'll make his last 2 years absolutely miserable and hell. And he'll want to quit. But I still think he'll be gone.
Is he going to make it past the midterms, or he's not? Because you're going to lose that.
I said that he's not. But I'm saying that there is. I'm not stupid enough to say that it's 100% done deal. I'm saying that it's possible that he could. I also said, Zach, hold on. I already made a $100 bet. I'll bet you $100 on something else. I'll bet you $100 that you can't find me a clip during that meeting in Chicago with a bunch of brilliant financial minds that he said something where people in the room or you or me would look at that and go, that was pretty smart. I'll bet you $100 you can't do that.
Well, I want you to look up.
Is that a bet or no? Do you want to do that or no?
Look up Howard.
Do you want to do that or no, Zach? Well, I'll ask you. I'll let you ask the question, but I'm going to ask you this question 1,000,000 times until you answer it. Do you want to make that bet?
No.
Okay. That's
it's not because I don't. It's not because I don't want to make the bet. It's just because.
No, it is because you don't want to make the bet. When I ask you, do you want to make a bet, and your answer is no, it's because you don't want to make the bet.
But that's not a bet. That's not a
It
bet.
is a bet.
You're saying bet you can find something that happened in the past. I'm saying I have no interest in looking for someone.
I know you don't have interest in it, Zach, because you know you would be
nothing.
embarrassed if you watched
It means nothing.
You would have to watch it, and you would be embarrassed.
Again, I'm half embarrassed every time I watch Donald Trump talk long form.
Thank you.
Because he's sort of crazy.
No, he's not crazy. He's stupid.
No, he's not
Yes.
stupid.
Oh, he is
not
stupid.
even close to stupid. Again,
Very stupid.
that's like saying Kanye is stupid.
Kanye is a musical genius, just like I said. Donald Trump.
Genius.
Donald
Sometimes
Trump. He's a musical genius.
Weird.
He's a musical genius, just like Donald Trump is a sucker charmer genius. He's a genius at that. I give him that. He's a genius at suckering suckers. Nobody better. I think maybe the greatest in the world. And Elon Musk is a close second. So they're battling. And I think Donald Trump will hold that title for quite some time. But yes, he's a genius in some route. But politically, he's a moron. He is stupid, and he has no idea what he's doing. The only people that know what they're doing in that administration are the evilness of the Stephen Millers and the Heritage Foundation and even J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel. These are the people running your government, Zach. And I know you were trying to bring up the point earlier. Again, it's not because he's so populist that he cares about the American people, because again, I still haven't heard one fucking thing that he's going to do to help the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. I swear to God on my life, I'll swear on my Miami Dolphins, I'll swear that the Miami Hurricanes never win a national championship again, I'll swear that the New York Mets never win a World Series or the Boston Celtics win the championship. Two people were talking to me about and not on TikTok, at the bar, were talking to me about how their Affordable Care Act is not so affordable anymore. Why would Donald Trump not take care of that?
The whole point of the subsidies is that the Affordable Care Act was never affordable. And that's why it needed subsidies. Subsidies are a post thing.
So then why would we take but first of all, it was more affordable. First of all, it was more affordable than anything else that was the alternative. So yes, there are things that needed to be improved in the Affordable Care Act. There's absolutely no question about it. However, it is literally the best healthcare plan that America has ever passed. And we can pass a way better one, but that's the best healthcare plan America's ever passed. It got rid of that pre-existing conditions nonsense. Not to mention, it is wildly popular. Wildly. Over 65% of people find it fantastic. But can we continue to improve and make it more affordable? Yes. How do we do that? Through subsidies. How did we get those subsidies? Because originally the Democrats fought for it. Yes, I know they expired, but we found out how well it worked. So why would we not extend those subsidies?
But it hasn't worked well. That's the whole point. And this is
then why are people complaining that their health care is going up triple?
Brian, this is so indicative of how you see government, which is like, well, how is, I assume he won't do anything to do the subsidies on the Affordable Care Act. It's like, no, because that's a bad system.
Great.
And
then what has he done to replace it? Name one thing that he said to replace it. Thank you, CJ.
I don't know if you know this, but this just got proposed and he's been very behind it.
Oh, no.
Which is going to take the money
this is going to be great.
Coming in as subsidies, and instead of giving it to insurance companies who continue to raise rates, they're going to just give it to people in a flexible savings account.
Again, another sucker machine. You think, yeah, I know. You know what? So is getting $2,000 from the tariff revenue. So is getting $5,000 from Doge. That is wildly popular, Zach. I agree with you. When are we getting it?
So you're saying that when we get a tariff dividend, and when we get the FSA, the health FSA, you're going to admit that he's a populist?
Hold on. When are we getting the Doge check?
I'll make that bet. But how about this? I'll make that bet. $100.
What's the bet?
Before the end of his term, you're going to see a tariff dividend, and you're going to see a health FSA.
Wait. By the end of the term, Donald Trump said by mid-2026.
What? So you're not willing to extend it to...
No, sir, I am
28?
not. I am no, because this is the words out of your man, who you think that everything that he says somehow comes true, which none of it does. So So I'm willing to make the bet that by the mid 2026, there is no $2,000 that goes directly to the bank accounts of American peoples. You already heard Scott Bessent say, well, it might come in the form of taxes. I'm not playing that bullshit. It's not in the form of taxes, just like the American Rescue Plan, or just like when Donald Trump passed the first time putting money. That's got to go directly into our bank accounts, just like they're trying to make the American people think that it's happening. Again, Zach, this is a sucker machine.
FSAs, flexible savings accounts, do not go directly to your
That's bank. Exactly right. So you know what? Again, I'm talking about, you said two things, Zach. You're talking about the flexible savings account when it comes to healthcare, correct?
I'm talking about the healthcare, yes.
Right. Now let's go back, because you said two things. The other thing was the tariff revenue. I will bet you, because Donald Trump said that by mid-2026, that the tariff revenue, which by the way, will probably be overturned by the Supreme Court, which is crazy. And when it does, we're going to have to give all that money back. But let's say for some reason that doesn't happen. By mid-2026, I will bet you $100 that we do not have $2,000, $500, $1,000, whatever amount that you want to say. How about that? You say the amount. That there will be no money going to any of our bank accounts. None. I won't even hold you to $2,000 by mid 2026. And when we say mid 2026, I would have to say that is the end of June.
I think it's quite likely that by mid 2026, in the lead up to the midterms, they're going to make some sort of a payment to the American people.
So we have a $100 bet.
Whether that's FSAs or whatever, but I wouldn't necessarily be willing to bet on a timeline, just in the same way that I wouldn't
It's
bet
Donald
on
Trump's timeline, sir.
I would never bet on any Elon Musk timeline.
Well, Elon Musk is already, Doge is already 8 months prior to it supposed to being ended. Doge is the biggest disaster in American history.
Yeah, because you guys made it that way. I would bet.
How so? Who did?
You fought it in every way. You fought it in every.
Zach, the Democrats control nothing. What are you talking about? USAID, Zach, was destroyed by Elon Musk, and it is unalived hundreds of thousands of people. And the only reason why he did it is because USAID is investigating his companies. So were all the other.
USAID doesn't investigate anyone, and
USAID was investigating. It was investigating one of Elon Musk's.
Cannot even conceive of the amount of graft,
the USAID,
and fraud, and corruption.
The USAID. No, you know why I can't grasp it, Zach? Because where is the fraud in the USAID? Tell me who was arrested. Tell me who was charged with anything with fraud in USAID.
You know how fraud works,
sir. No. I know how fraud in anywhere works. And when you do something fraudulent, there are ramifications to it. Tell me the ramifications and tell me the names of the people in USAID who were either arrested, charged, indicted, whatever it is that you want to call it, because of fraud. You guys are all bumper stickers. That's all you are. Fraud, waste, and abuse. We had inspectors generals who audited departments like USAID. In fact, USAID was audited more than any other department in anything in America. And there was no fraud, waste, and abuse that was found. Now, there's maybe some waste. Sure, waste is subjective, though. So you could go in and go, well, this is waste for me, maybe not for them. That's subjective. Fraud is specific, and nobody has come up with any fraud, including the other grifter of the year, Elon fucking Musk, who people go, he makes a lot of money, so he's really smart at this kind of stuff. He fucking took America's personal information, let some interns download it, probably in Russians' hands right now, and you guys are celebrating this like this is a big win for Americans. Zach, look, again.
Biden's infrastructure bill had $1.5 billion going to an NGO that had gotten created the year before. They had never taken a dollar They had never accomplished anything, and they got $1.5 billion.
Where's the fraud? Who was arrested?
Again, but it's not fraud. That's the whole point, right?
So we're not betting $100 on the. So we're not going to bet on Donald Trump's. We're not going to bet on that. So you rejected that. So you're saying I'm not going to bet on that. And now again, why'd they fire all the inspectors general? Why'd they fire all of them? What's the point of doing that?
If the status quo is a built-up, corrupt system. I don't know if you know how corrupt systems work. Everyone's involved. Everyone's sucking.
You keep saying stuff like that, Zach. I don't know if you know how they work. Because Elon Musk was sent there to destroy them. And guess what? All he did was destroy them without any proof of wrongdoing. Where's the proof?
If we give $47 billion to an initiative to create rural broadband and no houses get created, where do you think that $47 billion went?
Zach, I'll be honest with you. I'm not 100% familiar with that story, so I'd have to dig into it a little bit more to be able to speak on it a little bit more with a little bit more knowledge and education. And I think it would be disingenuous if I tried to say something that I'm not really that familiar with. But what I have found is a lot of people who support Donald Trump say these things, and then when I do the investigation on it, there's a lot of nuance that's missing from it, and where I can look at it and go, oh, okay, this is why it makes more sense. Again, I am not for fraud. I'm not for waste, and I'm not for abuse. I don't give a fuck who the president is. I don't give a fuck who the administration is. You know why, Zach? Because I don't wear hats and t-shirts and fly flags of a president. I don't look at politicians as if I work for them. I look at them as if they work for me. I happen to like some politicians more than others, but if they fuck up and they do wrong things, then I am absolutely 100% the first one in line going, I don't like that. But anyway, this guy is the biggest clown. Zach is now teacupped. He's probably looking for something smart Donald Trump said. So if that's the case, my guess is that you are in a permanent teacup position, Zach. I will let you come back real quick and say the last word. Zach, I would like for you to come back and say the last word.
Brian, I know you mean well.
Thank you.
And I know that you are incredibly secure in your convictions.
And very, very intelligent.
I promise you
Just
that
say it.
the system of total control over this country that has.
Do you think I'm stupid, Zach? Do you think I'm dumb?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
I think you are as flawed as any human being can be when it comes to being susceptible to hardcore propaganda created by the literal best.
By the way, this is a Trump supporter saying this, guys. A Trump supporter saying that I am susceptible to nonsense and to lies and to propaganda. That's a fucking amazing. That's amazing. This is coming from a guy who voted for a guy who told people.
I also voted for Obama.
Just a small town monkey. Excuse me, Zach. Living in a lonely world. We took that midnight monkey going anywhere. Thank you for that journey, monkey. I love you, Journey, and I love that journey, monkey. But anyway, you're saying this is coming from the guy that told people that if you send your child to school, they're coming back to a different gender. This is a guy who told everybody that millions of people were getting paid Social Security after they were no longer alive, Zach. This is a propagandist who says this to Silver Fairy Princess of Monkey. Thank you for that, Monkey Silver Fairy Princess. I got to come up with a song for Silver Fairy Princess. I'll work on that. But thank you for that, monkey. But anyway, Zach, I think I've said enough. I'm sorry. Let me give you the final word. But don't say anything about me because, Zach left. Okay. Zach left. All right. If you were... Guess who's here? It's interesting. Hold on a second. I'll decide whether or not I'm going to bring them up or not. Hold on. And Hoodlum, you can see when you try not to talk over me, I can sit there and have a conversation with people. And yes, here's what happens in this, in my lives. I fully admit that I will cut people off at times, but I've told you my reasons for that. I told you my reasons as to why I do that. And again, if that's something that is just so bothersome for you, then I'm just telling you, maybe this is not the live for you. And you know what else is crazy, Hoodlum? Everybody else has fucking banned you. I'm one of the few that have not banned you. Everybody else has banned you. You know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. People are not going to like this. I thought I was done, Hoodlum.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
If everyone banned me, then why do I go live every day?
But you know what I'm talking about. Are you banned? Oh, I'm sorry. Zoya Bean Monkey. Thank you for that, Monkey. Hoodlum, you know what I'm talking about. You are banned by quite a few people, yes?
But what does that mean? Like, is that supposed to mean something?
No, Zach, Hoodlum, did you hear what I said though? I'm not trying to say it to put you down. Just listen to what I'm saying and understand it first. What I'm saying is that you get mad at me. You're all this, Brian's done and never go up on there and now you're just saying all this nonsense. I don't ban you, Hoodlum. I still let you come up. I still let you talk.
There's a lot of people that aren't fascist.
See, this is what I'm saying. What I've asked numerous times is that when I'm speaking for you not to try to cut me off, but you do it all the time. I get mad. You get mad at me when I get mad, and that's how it's going to work. And it's going to continue to work that way forever, as long as I'm on this app. Maybe you're right, Hoodlum. Maybe you control all the MAGAs, and maybe none of them will ever come up on my live again anymore, ever. If that happens, then I'll just talk to the fine people who are here in my chat.
Well, let me ask you an honest question. Do you think that you could do a better job of being more, concisive?
I think I'm very concisive.
Well, so why don't you have
just like that answer?
Why do you need to feel? Why do you feel the need to interrupt somebody? Because you could just have self-control and you can just debunk them when they're finished.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, Hoodlum. And I'll see the problem is, and maybe this is the problem here, because I've explained this to you a lot of times, but you try to cut me off and maybe you haven't heard it. So maybe will you take the minute that I explain this to listen to it, comprehend it, and maybe try to understand it whether you like it or not?
Oh, I don't cut you off, Brian.
I just asked you a question, Hoodlum. You want me to ask it again because you're wasting time here?
No, I'm listening.
Did you understand the question?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. So the reason why I do that is because I said, and I understand, I'm not acknowledging, I know I'm not Dean, I know I'm not Parker, I know I'm not Johnny, I don't have the following of a lot of people. But the one thing that bothered me personally about the Democrats and the Democratic Party for years and years and years and years is that they allowed a narrative to be shaped about them with zero pushback. And that has stuck in my craw for a very, very long time. And I had made the decision once I got up on these lives, thank you, Prince, one of the greatest musicians of all time. I decided once I started getting used to these lives and understanding what it was more about, is that I've decided that when I hear a lie, when I hear something that's not true, when I hear nonsense, that I am going to cut it off and I'm not going to let it go any further. And the reason why is because if I let it go further, then we might not be able to go back to it. And then somebody heard nonsense that was not addressed. So that's why I do it. I might do it in a animated way in which you do not like. If that is the case, as a fellow human being, I apologize. However, as a host of this live, I will never apologize for doing that, and I'm never going to stop doing that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, but when you make assertions, those are your opinions. And
I agree, and it's on my live.
Wait a minute. I let you speak, and then the second I start speaking, you interrupt me again.
Right, that's what I fucking told you. I'm going to cut off nonsense. You just said something nonsensical.
What, that you give your opinions and you call them facts?
I did not. See, you're putting words in my mouth now, Hoodlum. Monkey! Thank you for that, Monkey! Area
So
51.
let me ask you.
See, but you see, again, I'm cutting that off, and we're going to go back and we're going to address
No,
what
I'm
you
going to
just
ask
said.
you a question.
You said that I come up here and that I state opinions, but I say that they're facts. I have said on this live, maybe more than anything, I said, if you listen to what I say, I appreciate you tuning into the live. I appreciate you listening. Wait a minute. What the fuck is happening? I appreciate everybody listening. Why is this not charging my phone? Hold on. But I would also tell people to listen to what I say and then go review it and see if what I said is true or not. And if you could find out that it's true, then you'd say, hey, that was a productive live. I'm glad I went into it. Wait, I got to figure out. Hold on, Hoodlum. I'm sorry. I got to figure out why this is not charging my phone. We definitely don't want the battery to go dead, right?
Preferably not.
Thank you. Let me see.
So I think that while you're doing that, I'll just take this opportunity.
Go ahead.
But like, you have your opinion about what you think Donald Trump represents. You talk about people that don't agree with you as suckers and losers, right? That's not a fact. That's your opinion.
I didn't say it was, Hoodlum. I've said it a million times. These are all my opinions. Everything's my opinion. Now, there are a lot of things I say that are absolutely fact. Like when somebody comes up to my live and says that the inflation rate was the highest in American history when Joe Biden left office, and I correct them, that's a fact. That's not an opinion.
Brian, I gave you examples, and then you want to dispute my examples with something that I didn't say. I'm not saying that you don't bring up facts, but what I'm saying is you interrupt and discredit somebody just because you don't agree with their perspective.
Correct. That is absolutely correct, Hoodlum. This is not Meet the Press. This TikTok live. Do you understand, Hoodlum? This is not one of the Sunday morning shows. I've got a way about me and the way that I do things. Sometimes it's animated. Sometimes I try to be funny. Sometimes I try to be informative. Sometimes I get pissed off when I hear things that are clearly not fucking true. And when I hear things that are clearly not fucking true, there we go. Okay. It was the charger. Then I have a way about doing it. Hoodlum, I don't understand. Are you here to critique me and tell me what I should be doing better every time you come up here? Because again, I'm always going to be who I am, Hoodlum, and I like who I am. Right. And if you don't like who I am, then I would suggest that you don't have to come back, pal.
So you asked me a question, right? Can I answer it?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't remember the question now.
Yeah. First and foremost, you're no Chuck Todd, and I wouldn't want you to be
Chuck
Todd. Okay.
But he was a Miami Hurricane, by the way.
Okay, that's great for you. But what I'm saying here is that I think that you're a good person.
Thank you.
That you have genuine objectives that you want to get out of these lives, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's not to bring people up to point out that they got suckered and bamboozled. Right?
It absolutely is.
But that's not going to get you anywhere.
I'm not trying to get. Where am I supposed to be getting to, Hoodlum? Where is it that you think that I'm trying to get to? And I'll be honest with you. I think some places it does get me somewhere, because the ultimate goal is to get people to listen to these far right lunatics who are so in bed with Donald Trump that you want to talk about people come up here and say, opinions. These are people who come up here and try to pass along things that are factual, that are just not true. And the main goal is to expose those people, have somebody with an informed opinion or an informed statistic that will prove wrong what they say are facts, and that maybe some of the people who are on the fence, realizing that this guy maybe is the disaster that people are saying, that some people might listen to somebody like me or Diava or Johnny or the much bigger ones and say, maybe we were duped. Maybe we were suckered, and maybe we're going to straighten out this country. That's what I'm trying. The ultimate goal is I care about this country. I care about the well-being of all fellow Americans, including you, Hoodlum. I'm sure your beautiful children. I care way more about them than I care about a politician. You guys care and you give me the impression, Hoodlum, that's why I say you guys, you give me the impression you care more about Donald Trump than you do anything else. And if it's just a shtick, then I don't find it funny. So you like to tone police people. Maybe it's time for me to tone police you. And maybe you shouldn't be going around from live to live to live to live to troll people, because this shit is not funny and millions of people's lives are being severely affected. So if we want to play tone police, you are now, sir, under arrest, and you have the right to remain silent. I have a bad feeling you will not, though.
Right. So I think that we have to go back to intentions. And my intentions by voting the way that I did, by taking the perspective that I take, is that I want to move to a better union. I want to create a better union. And I personally don't think that vote shaming individuals and removing a sitting president is good for the country. Whether you disagree with that president or not, that is not productive to this country.
Tell me what you do, Hoodlum. Tell me when you go on these lives. Tell me exactly what it is that you do that's productive, because I hear a lot of conversations, and I've heard it personally with my own ears, so please don't try to gaslight me here. I've heard it with my own ears that you go up and you try to make fun of certain groups of people. You try to do these sort of down low jokes about them. You try to do stuff like that. How is that productive?
Give me an example.
I don't want to do it. Just give me.
You just made false accusations.
I know. I've heard it with my own ears.
Okay, give me an example.
I've heard it.
Give me an example.
I'm not going to give you an example because
you don't have one, Brian.
Listen, all right, here's the thing. Anybody that has listened to Hoodlum on other lives,
so
you could just surmise whether or not I'm making that up or I'm not making that up. It's up to anybody else in this court of public opinion, because at the end of the day, that's what this is, in a conversation between me and whoever the guest is. And I would say and venture to guess that a lot of people have heard you go into lives not to have a productive conversation, Hoodlum, but to troll other people and to troll people who might be suffering or whatever the case is. If you're going to sit here and try to tell me you've never done that, then I don't know. Then what's the point here, man?
Brian, I match energy.
Thank you, Bart.
That's what I do. So if you want to come at me sideways, that's what you're going to get. That's, I think, an honest response. As stupid as stupid.
Oh, so it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for me to do it? How come I need to be toned? How come I need to figure out, monkey, thank you for that monkey from my corner. Why is it that I need to figure out what it is I need to do better to get to where I want to get to? Where is it that I need to get to, Hoodlum?
Well, I guess it goes back to intention, Brian. So
my intentions are full, and I love my intentions.
Are your intentions to make people regret the vote that they cannot go back in time and change?
No, my intention is to get them to regret the vote to where they don't do anything that stupid ever again. And then when we have a future voting and we have people who open up their eyes and go, oh shit, Brian's saying some things that I like, and that makes sense. Brian says some things that sound good. I'm going to go look it up myself to see if it's true. And then luckily, Hoodlum, and I know this for a fact, I've had some people come back to my live and say, Brian, I listened to what you said, and I completely agree with what you said, and I am going to vote for the Democrats in 2026. I have 100% have that happen.
So you're looking to change the hearts and minds of people?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that you do that well while you belittle and overtalk?
Sometimes it's effective. It depends. For some people, it might be a turnoff.
All right. Well,
but again, I match energy to the
reason why
I don't belittle somebody. I don't call somebody up and belittle them until they start doing it with me. I've had many people come up here and they're all on your side, Hoodlum. They all come up here and go, you're a fucking idiot. You're this and blah, blah, blah. And you have people threatening me all the time. And you have people, all this stuff. What am I supposed to do with that, Hoodlum? Go, hold on, sir. Can you please stop? This is so scary. Is that what you want me to do? That's not happening.
You called the last guest a Nepo baby.
I didn't call him that.
You called Donald Trump that, and you insinuated that he voted for
Donald Trump. There you go. Yes, I definitely insinuated, Hoodlum, and I said, maybe it's touching a nerve. There's a difference between calling somebody and insinuating.
And did you hear his response?
You can leave it up to the imagination there. You could leave it up to your own
Can you recite his response? Because I could. I remember exactly.
No,
what he
I
said.
can't.
Well, can I tell you his
Sure,
response?
I'm not sure what it means, but sure.
He said, he tried to tell you before you until you interrupted him, that there is all kinds of examples of his friends that he knows
Yeah.
in this Nepo baby environment, that even though their dads were ultra successful and they
Right.
came from money, that they still ultimately failed.
Great.
And you interrupted him and you didn't.
No,
engage
sir, I
with
did
that.
not. In fact, what was my response to that, Hoodlum? Since you're so good at memorizing this.
Well, I didn't. I don't remember that monologue.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
No, I'm
It's very
honest,
interesting
Brian. I'm
because
honest,
I did
Brian.
not say that, Hoodlum. What I
was
said
your
to him
response,
after
Brian?
he said that, sir, and I'm happy to clip this, and I'm happy to make a bet on it too, if you'd like.
Oh, no,
What I said to him,
Brian,
what I
it's not
said to
about
him,
money.
what I said to him is that I agree with you that there are plenty of people who have rich daddies who are not successful in life. That's not what I was saying. I tried to explain to him that I was specifically talking about this Nepo baby. And then I went in and I said to him, maybe, Zach, I know that your family comes from money. I know that your dad is well off. And maybe this is hitting home. I don't know. You can make that decision on your own if you'd like to. That's what I said, Hoodlum. I didn't say that I didn't tell him that I cut him off after he said this, what you thought was a brilliant point about the kids,
call it
because I
brilliant.
agreed with him. I agreed with him.
So here's.
Do you agree that Donald Trump is Bernie Sanders 2.0?
I think Donald Trump has.
Why do you guys never answer the
No,
question?
I'm trying to find the right word. I think that Donald Trump has capitalized on a lot of Bernie Sanders' great ideas. More even so.
This is so fucking wild.
Well, that's what he said, and Bernie himself agreed on the Jon Stewart show. So if Bernie Sanders agrees with me, then I don't know.
I
what
heard that
leaves
clip,
you for
Hoodlum.
information.
Again, you took that well out of context. Well out of context. In fact,
That
Jon
was his own words.
Stewart was trying to sound a little like, he was like, isn't this what, and even Bernie Sanders like, well, I wouldn't exactly call it that. He didn't, he's not agreeing that Donald Trump is some sort of democratic socialist like Bernie Sanders is. And it is crazy to me that Mamdani comes into that office and it's all smiles and hugs and ball licking. And now all of a sudden you guys are like, yeah, I mean, this guy's not that bad, and Donald Trump's just like him. And you're like, this is why I can't take this shit anymore, because you guys will just change your mind on a fucking dime.
So let me.
Do you like Mamdani?
Not particularly, but can I give you a perspective?
What did you think of the meeting?
Well, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he won the election. He's going to be the mayor of New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so instead of like being this oppositional figure to his city and the management thereof, right? Why don't you choose to be an ally and have some type of input on what he's going to do, rather than what the Democrats are doing to Donald Trump's presidency, which is trying to destroy it, which ultimately hurts
Wait a minute.
America.
Are you telling me that Donald Trump has been
Absolutely.
an ally to everybody and has welcomed them?
No, but
Why is he doing it with the, and do me a favor,
Because he
why
gives
is
everyone a
why is
fair
everybody
shot.
on far right-wing propaganda media, every single one of them vilified Mamdani as he was going to be
hear what I
the
just
worst
said?
person ever elected in the history of this country, because he's going to be the mayor of New York City, every single one of them. And now all of a sudden, Donald Trump says, I'm ignoring all these people and I'm going to be an ally. The reason why Donald Trump was friendly with Mamdani, Hoodlum, is because he needs friends right now. He's feeling very, very lonely, and he wants to, and Mamdani did to him exactly what Vladimir Putin does to him, exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu does to him, exactly what Xi Jinping does to him. All you do is you go in and charm the guy. He might have said something like, sir, you're the president, and it bothers me that we cannot have a discussion with each other. I respect you in the office of president. I do this or that. All you have to do is play that up to Donald Trump, and then that's what you get. The big smiles. The reason why he can literally embarrass our ally, Zelensky, in front of everybody, which was one of the most disgusting displays I've ever seen in the history of this country. That was absolutely abhorrent. And anybody that didn't look at that and was not completely embarrassed, this is why, Hoodlum, this is why I have no love for people who back this guy, who's such a horrible piece of shit, who will treat people who don't treat, and they knew he was a bully. They knew that he needed them. And there's nothing that Zelensky can do for Donald Trump. And when he knows you got them in that position, then you act like a big, bad, tough guy and a bully. Here with Mamdani, he knows he doesn't need Donald Trump necessarily. They're going to try to work with each other. We'll see. But it's all farce. It's all nonsense, Hoodlum. And look, if you want to keep backing this guy who's just a terrible person, along with the people behind him who are even worse and even more evil, trying to pretend like the left are the radical ones, and they're the ones going around saying all this radical stuff and trying to get people to unalive the president. Again, you guys can gaslight each other with that nonsense all you want to. You're not convincing me.
So, back to the question that I asked that you still haven't answered. Donald Trump wants what's best for
I guarantee
New York,
I
just
did.
like he wants what's best for America. My question to you, being that you can't really answer mine, is: do you want what's best for America, and do you think that that's
didn't ask me that
somehow?
question.
No, hold on, Brian. I'm almost finished.
But
promise.
you didn't ask me that question.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Do you want what's best for America? And number two is: do you think that impeaching a sitting president because you don't like him is what's best for America? Tell me.
I don't know of any. Well, actually, maybe Bill Clinton. But other than Bill Clinton, who's been impeached because you don't like him?
That's not my question, Brian.
No, but you're bringing up, first of all, you and I never even mentioned. See, this is, again, Hoodlum, I'm not putting up, this is why you get mad at me, because you think you're going to dog walk me down your lane, and I never go down your lane, and you go, now I'm going to pout and cry because Brian's not answering the questions that I'm asking. Hoodlum, your question is dumb because you said, do you think, of course I want the best for the American people. That's why I come on TikTok and I try to convince them that we have the worst person in the history of this country and the worst people in the history of this country running it. So I want the best for this country. That's why I am an advocate of trying to do everything I can to make sure that the Democrats win the House and the Senate. Then you bring up impeachment. Do you think it's a good idea? This is how you phrased the question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do I think it's a good idea of impeaching a president simply because you don't like him? All right, I'll answer your question. No, I think that's a terrible idea. Can you give me an example other than Bill Clinton as why somebody was impeached because you didn't like him?
Well, everything that Donald Trump
Because
does,
you're implying Donald Trump.
what I'm saying is the Democrat perspective right now is literally every single thing that Donald Trump does is bad.
It is. That's the
No,
problem,
that's
Hoodlum.
incorrect.
Is that most of the
That's
things that
incorrect,
he
Brian.
does is bad. Yes,
Listen,
it is.
if you
Hoodlum,
want- hold on,
the
wait a
fact
minute.
that
If you
you are
want credibility,
defending a guy that
that's
has
not
a
how
meme
credibility
coin
works.
so fucking foreign entities can pay him so they can do him favors, that right there is impeachable. He should be impeached for that right there. The fact that you guys celebrate and don't think it is beneath the presidency of the United States that he demeans the press all the time and calls a woman little piggy because she asked a question, that, Hoodlum, is for me not worthy of the presidency of the United States. You guys can keep playing professional wrestling all you want to. Again, a lot of people,
Brian,
where it may not affect
Brian,
you, thinks it's funny, but a lot of
Brian,
people don't find this shit funny. Hoodlum, this is not professional wrestling.
The reporter
And
is-
who's impeaching him, by the way?
well, that's a great question. Nobody. But
Right.
My issue to what you just said is
Al Green is.
the reporter insinuated that the Saudi prince
I don't care what the
is a
question
murderer.
was. I don't care. First of all, that's not the
I know
question.
you don't care, but
No,
the
that's a
president does.
shh. No, that's a separate one. He said that on the airplane, not to the woman who was from ABC. And of course, who are you with? ABC. That's fake news. And now he's loaded, by the way. He's loaded the press room with a bunch of far right-wing
Of course you would say
sycophants.
that. Of course you would say that,
You're
Brian.
telling me Jack Posebic is a real journalist, Hoodlum?
What is
Do you somebody
What is
that
the
tries to
qualifications for a
some?
reporter?
I will tell you, Hoodlum. Somebody that tries
Okay,
to
good.
get to the, somebody that tries to get to the truth about a matter, regardless of who the president is. You are not there to lick the balls of the president. You're not there to ask questions to Caroline Leavitt and go, isn't Donald Trump looking so great these days? That is an embarrassment that those people are in that same room with real professional journalists who are fucking heroes to this country. Heroes. Those people have taken down people in all administrations, presidents, vice presidents, Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter who it is. They will investigate something regardless of who it is. But Donald Trump has convinced the flying monkeys in here that if anything is said badly about daddy, that it's fake news and they just don't like him. Why? That's why people will come up to my live and ask me a question like, don't you think it's bad that they try to impeach somebody just because they don't like them? I don't know of any president, again, other than Bill Clinton, was impeached because they quote unquote didn't like him. They impeach him because he did something illegal. That's why he's impeached.
Brian, let me ask you, do you think that the fourth branch of government, the media, do you think that they held Joe Biden's administration accountable?
For what?
I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you, what should they be holding him accountable for?
Well,
if you're talking about the economy, yes. In fact, I'm answering. I'm answering your question. So why when I'm answering your question, you're like, it's a simple question. It's a simple question. I'm answering your question. Yes, I think they did it when it came to the economy, and they made the American people think that the economy was worse than it really was. So they held him to some standard that, first of all, the economy, according to economists, was great. The economy was great. The prices were still high because of the pandemic. That's not something Joe Biden can control. However, by all economic metrics, the economy was what the economists were calling the envy of the world. And they were telling Joe Biden, basically, you're not allowed to say the economy's good, because if you say the economy's good, people are going to get mad at you. Now we've got this fucking dipshit literally looking people in the eye and saying this is the best economy in American history. We're losing jobs. Inflation's going through the roof. Unemployment's going through the roof. GDP is going down. Prices are in all-time record highs. Grocery prices are all-time record highs in the United States of America. And you're going to sit here and ask me about Joe fucking Biden? Joe Biden was one of the best presidents we've ever had. But to answer your question, I think journalists, yes, I think they hold every single president when they do something wrong or say something wrong, they've held them to account. They've let these people get away with more nonsense and bullshit than anything I've ever seen in my life. They have failed us. They have failed us deeply. And that's why I don't watch cable news anymore. I won't watch a lot of these, the people who let these people answer questions without any pushback. That's why I do it here. Not that I'm a journalist, not that I'm important, but it does make me mad when people say things that are wrong, that are not truthful. That's when you're going to get me to cut you off, and we're going to address exactly what you said until we prove it wrong. I appreciate
you answering my question, but here's the problem. Is credibility has to do with the history.
What Donald Trump says.
No. Hold on. Let me finish. You're not letting me finish. What I'm saying is credibility comes down to the past actions and statements of the individual or organization, right? And then people on the outside of that organization or person can decide on the worthiness and the value of what this person says, right? So in other words, when you answer my previous questions that the media held the Biden administration accountable, like that degrades your credibility with me because I know that's not true.
Great. Okay, then Hoodlum, I'm going to allow you to give me the example of what Joe Biden should have been held accountable for and what exactly they didn't. In fact, I had, if I remember correctly, CNN, Jess, thank you so much. CNN was all over Joe Biden's mental acuity. I heard about Joe Biden's mental acuity every fucking day on mainstream media. You know where I don't hear it? I don't hear it about this fucking guy. Every once in a while, some people will bring it up, but for the most part, they're not holding him accountable the same way they held Joe Biden's accountable for his mental acuity. So, Hoodlum, I am going to now give you the opportunity to tell me exactly what Joe Biden did that we needed to hold him accountable for? What's an
Documents-
impeachable offense?
documents at his house?
They first of all, give me the story about the documents at the house, Hoodlum.
They were in a filing cabinet organized, which indicates that he had knowledge of these documents and what they were, because they were actually filed. And
You're lying.
labeled.
You're lying, Hoodlum.
No, I'm not.
No,
That's
you're
in the
lying.
report.
First of all, this has
That's in
been
the
Mike
report,
Pence.
Ryan.
Mike Pence did the same thing.
Again,
other
see what
listen.
you're doing?
Shh, other people.
Do you
Listen.
hear what you're
no,
doing?
no. Hoodlum, be quiet. Other
You're
people. I
defending him.
heard.
It's okay.
I heard what you said, Hoodlum, and this has been debunked by a million people, but you guys don't listen to the people. You only listen to you don't see. I think you guys go out of your way to not look at news. You go out of your way not to look at news so you could just say the things that you want to say. This is the bullshit I told you that I am cutting off, Hoodlum. Do you know who turned that in? Joe Biden's administration themselves. They didn't have to go and go, Joe, you've got classified documents. And he goes, no, I didn't. And they go, yes, you did. And went on for a fucking year with that nonsense back and forth. That didn't happen with Joe Biden. It just so happened that they found out that there was some, and they called and said, hey, we have these things. Obviously, it was by accident. Go look up the story if you really want to. I'm happy to look it up here with you and read it to you if you want me to.
So that's the first. I have the second.
No.
Would you like to hear the second?
We're sticking with this.
That's factual information. Read the Her
All
report.
right, good. Let's read it. First of all, the Her report is another thing that came out that disappointed disappointed the Republicans.
Everything is.
It
There's
did.
something wrong with every report unless the Democrats produce it.
It disappointed the Republicans. They're the ones who were like, "Well, this is really a nothing."
It shows your bias, Brian.
Well, all
That's
right,
fine.
tell me what I should saw in the Her report since you read it. What should I have saw in the Her report that came out that nobody held Joe Biden accountable for?
Sure. The second thing would be the fact that the Her team found and concluded, based on his deposition, that the man had memory issues and that he wouldn't stand fit for trial to get a conviction. That is why it did not move forward. And
Actually,
instead of
there's
instead
no
of the
evidence that Joe
Brian,
Biden stole
Brian.
classified documents in the sense
I
of
didn't say
intentionally. Well, but you're comparing it to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump absolutely stole them.
No, that's incorrect.
Yeah,
Nara-
that's not
Nara
incorrect.
brought those documents to
classified
his residence.
documents in the sense of intentionally taking
It's
them
okay,
with
Brian.
criminal intent. And a special counsel investigation concluded in 2024 that no criminal charges were warranted. So exactly what did I need to be, what did they need to hold Joe Biden accountable after an investigation, a special counsel investigation?
He didn't even know what years he was vice president.
In
He was not
2023,
fit
Attorney
to hold the
General
office.
Merrick Garland appointed Robert Hur as special counsel to probe the matter. Hur's 388-page report released on February of 2024 found that Biden willfully and retained and disclosed some classified information. However, the report explicitly stated the evidence does not establish Mr. Biden's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt and recommended no criminal charges.
So let me ask you, do you think that it is the
So what
prosecutor-
exactly-
Hold on, Brian, do you think that it's the prosecutor's position to be the judge and jury to come up with that
No.
conclusion?
No.
Okay,
What are you
then
talking
there it
about,
is.
Hoodlum?
Then there it is, Brian. He was unfit for trial. Keep on reading. Keep on reading.
Okay, all right, I will. However,
Keep
the
on
report
reading.
However, the report explicitly said, that there are no criminal charges. Key reasons included insufficient proof of willful criminal intent for a conviction, full cooperation, unlike obstruction seen in other cases. What other cases do you think that we'd be talking about there, Hoodlum? Because I'll be happy to look that up. I'm going to ask, what other cases do you ever mean, Elon Musk? Some
Hillary
documents,
Clinton.
Some documents may have been misplaced accidentally during post office transitions. Let's see. Comparison to similar cases. Oh, they're going to tell us. This differs sharply You understood the word sharply? Do you know that word means, hoodlum? From the separate investigation into former President Donald Trump, where over 300 classified documents were found at Mar-a-Lago, leading to federal charges for willful retention and obstruction. Why did they not do that with Joe Biden? If you're bringing this up, why we needed to hold Joe Biden accountable for the particular thing that you said, why is it that it wasn't the same thing to what happened to Donald Trump? I think you know, because we already found out. Because of even Robert Hur, who is a sycophant for Donald Trump, by the way, and probably went out of his way to put some nefarious, some nefarious things in there so the media and people like Hoodlum can say some things about Joe Biden.
That was pretty funny right there.
Political context. Republicans, including House committees, launched parallel probes but uncovered no new criminal evidence. The report drew criticisms for its descriptions of Biden's memory, which fueled political attacks but was unrelated to the no charges conclusions. I don't know why you guys want to continue to go through life and look like foolish morons for this guy. Everything that you just said, Hoodlum, right there, for anybody with a logistical brain and any sort of intellect can listen to what I just said and said Hoodlum is reaching very, very high for straws that he will never ever be able to reach in Brian Rundle's lives. I don't understand why you continue to do this. Please.
This is going to be the nail in your coffin.
All right, okay? I can't wait. Wait, okay. You're putting me to sleep again, Hoodlum? I'm done forever for good?
I don't know. That's
okay. All right. No, that's up to you.
So if the media was holding Joe Biden accountable, like you claim, then why did it take an actor, George Clooney, to tell the American people the truth of his interactions with Joe Biden?
Oh, that's interesting. So you're telling me the media didn't report that? Well, it was all over the fucking news. In fact, Jake Tapper of CNN wrote a fucking book about it. Excuse me. How is the media? How's the media? Okay, so this is the subject though, Hoodlum. It's not necessarily Joe Biden. The subject is the media not holding people to account. And you're bringing up why didn't they do it to Joe Biden? Then you hilariously bring up the mental acuity of Joe Biden, and the only people that we're bringing up holding into account was George Clooney, that was reported all over mainstream media, and what's his name? Jake Tapper wrote a whole fucking book about it. So how's that not holding it to account?
That was after you guys cooed him.
How is that not after what are you talking about? George Clooney is part of the reason why that happened.
That's my point.
Yes, and that was fucking widely reported.
That was after the debate. George Clooney came clean and told the American people the truth after 2 years of gaslighting the American people and the media being sycophants.
Wait. What's the truth though? What George Clooney says, that he had a story about we went up to Joe Biden and said Joe Biden didn't remember who I was. I'm not saying that that's not true, but that doesn't mean but hold on, you're
Brian.
Sir. Again, I told you this is why I cut people off. We're forgetting the main point here. The main point is that you were asking why the media didn't hold Joe Biden. You were asking me if they held him to the same standards that they do Donald Trump. And this is all about the media. It's not whether or not George Clooney did the right thing or not. That was widely reported by the media about George Clooney, about Joe Biden's mental acuity. Mainstream media couldn't stop talking about the fucking debate. So I don't know what you're talking about in what you think that the media was not doing their job, because you got to remember this started. You asked me, what is it that a journalist is? What's a real journalist? And I said somebody that will report and get to the bottom line of the truth. You say that George Clooney told the truth. The media reported about that. Jake Tapper dug more into it. He reported about it. So again, I don't want you to get sidetracked here, Hoodlum. This was originally about whether or not the media does the same for Biden as they do for Trump. And I think we just clearly established that they do. In fact, I'm mad that they don't do it. They didn't do it for, they don't do it to Trump the same way they do it to Biden. And that's what pisses me off about the media.
Okay,
they
Brian,
let him get away. They normalize this fucking
Is it my
idiot.
turn to speak?
All right, you last word, Hoodlum.
Okay. Brian,
Yes, thank you.
I think that
Thank
deep
you.
down inside, you know that the American media pulled cover for the Biden administration for the better part of 4 years. Not to
No,
mention the fact
that's
that
not
his
true.
own
That's not
hold
true.
on, his own press secretary has now wrote a book and is no longer a Democrat. She is
That's
a
not true either.
independent because, as her own words, she was lucky to have a meeting with him once or twice a month.
No,
and
she
that's
said-
his
are you-
press secretary.
No, she said that she thought the way
It's
they
okay,
treated
Brian.
Joe Biden was
Just
horrific.
cope,
You read?
bro.
Do you read her
Just
book?
cope.
Did you read her
Cope.
book, Hoodlum?
You
Hoodlum, I'm not
cope.
playing the cope games, and you get, this is your
Just cope
MAGA
with the fact that you
vernacular,
got dog
which is
walking.
really corny, and it shows the intellect of
what happens when you
MAGA
let
is that
people
they
talk.
use the same words over and
They
over
dog
again, and they
walk
think it triggers us. Hoodlum, it should trigger you. You should, when you use words like cope and TDS, you should look yourself in the mirror and go, God damn, I am a fucking moron. I'm still using these childish words in what are supposed to be an intellectual conversation, but I've turned this into professional wrestling. And that's why people laugh at you
Just
guys. That's why nobody takes you people seriously.
Brian, just admit you're
And
mad.
that's why people cut
that's
you
all
off.
you're ever gonna
That's
do.
why people call
And
you
you're
names.
angry.
Yep. So
You're mid.
anyway,
You're mid, bro. And that's all you're ever going to
I'm
be.
a what?
You're mid.
Good. Hold on. Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Mid Brian Rundle. I don't know what you want to do with that information. We're all going to go to bed tonight and nobody's going to remember one fucking word about mid or any of that nonsense. None of that stuff bothers me, Hoodlum. Your assessment of me does not bother me
You're
at all.
still-
You
you're
could think of me,
you're
whatever
still
it is that
simping
you
for
want
the
to,
Biden
bro.
administration.
It's a
Disgusting.
John Paul monkey, and I need you to be quiet because that is the second or third John Paul monkey. And I want to say thank you so much for that John Paul monkey because it's a Beatles monkey, and I love the Beatles so much. And at the end of the day, you know what the Beatles say, Hoodlum? And that monkey came here to say is that all you need is love. Love is all you need, Hoodlum. And you've got none of that in your heart. You've got hate
do. I got
for
nothing
other
but
people.
love.
Thank you so much for
But
the
I'm
gifts.
really a
But-
fond person of truth. And
No,
that's what
you are.
That's, what I'm
That's why
after,
people
sir.
ban you, Hoodlum. This is why people
Well, yeah,
don't
'cause
like you. This is why
Brian-
people, and that's why I say I don't know why people don't like when
Brian-
Hoodlum comes up here because we don't allow him here to state his nonsense. He
Can I have
again,
one last
once
word?
again, he has not been able to do it again tonight. He is
This is
0
my
for
last
Hoodlum.
word.
A Hoodlum has not said one true thing since he's
Sure.
been here. In fact, TikTok sends me reports all the time. They're called the Hoodlum reports, and it says yet again, Hoodlum has said nothing of substance or anything of truth,
Okay.
and he's a clown. That's what TikTok
So
says.
my final word, Brian, is that
Oh,
people
no.
are more likely to believe a lie than the truth because most of the time
Exactly!
the truth hurts. The truth hurts, Brian.
Right, you got it. Finally.
But
Hoodlum,
I
you
think-
said something. You know what? Actually, this
Are you
time I
gonna take it
am
back?
going to disconnect you this time because you said something finally that more people are willing to believe a lie than the truth. That's the whole theme of my fucking live, Hoodlum. You nailed it, pal. There you go. Good for you. Me cutting you off there was the best thing that happened for you. You finally said something in this live that was true. Suckered. Full caps. The word suckered is not big enough on the screen. In fact, I should just put it over my face. Nobody needs to see my face. Suckered is the main, that's the star here. The word suckered, not me. Suckered is one that allows me to have these lives. If it's not for suckered, then I am nothing on these lives. Somebody said, please do it. Who said that? It's kind of funny. Super Dave. All right, Super Dave. That was a decent one. It wasn't bad. Oh, thank you, Jessica. See, Jessica needs to see my face. So fuck you, Super Dave. And I care about what Jessica thinks, not you, Super Dave. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Hoodlum Hoodlum should just do his own live. No, he would never be able to do it. Hoodlum is a professional troll, guys. That's his whole shtick. He finally spoke the truth about himself in a Freudian slip. Yeah, Janine. Do we have anybody else? We have, let's see. Do we have a connection here? Where's my, oh, I'm on. My backup? Where's my backup? Blue Heart. Hello? Blue Heart's watching Star Wars. Jesus Christ. Are you there, Blue Heart? All right, Blue Heart. I think that was a mistake. May the force be with you, ma'am. What time is it? It's almost 10 o'clock. I don't know how I got through this one. My fucking head was pounding, and I was like, God, how do I cure this? And my two guests tonight were Zach and Hoodlum. Fuck. How the fuck did I make it through this one? Let's see. Blue Man, are you over 18?
Yes.
And state are you in, Blue Man?
Somewhere in the Northeast.
All right. Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh yeah.
All right. What brings you up, my friend? How you doing tonight? How was your Sunday?
It was good. I cooked and I worked out.
Oh,
Nah, I don't watch sports.
you're not a football guy? All right. Well, happy Sunday. Did you go to
Happy
church?
Sunday. I did go to church.
You did. What time?
What do you mean, what time?
What time did you go to church?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? What was the sermon about?
The sermon was more about John and his, pretty much his story. So
Did you know the story already, or was it a new one for you?
I already knew it.
All right. What brings you up, pal?
So are you against Trump?
I don't know. Let's do a quick read here. So, have you been on TikTok before, Blue Man?
No.
This first time?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to TikTok. Are you familiar with the TikTok shop?
I am not.
A
No.
lot of great things that you could buy in the TikTok shop. So if you go to the TikTok shop and you want to find something, you just type in the TikTok shop. This is what I want, and it'll pop it up. Great. So please visit the TikTok shop like literally as soon as you're disconnected from here. Okay.
Okay.
So if you look above me, so a lot of these lives, they'll have sort of a theme, right? And they'll let you know what the live is about. If you read, mine says dementia, Donald Trump's war on intelligence is destroying America. What suckered you into voting for him? Now, your question was, so do you like Trump? Based on what I just read there, Blue Man, what do you think?
I didn't see that up above your head.
Ah,
Sorry about that.
That's okay, pal. That's okay. That's all right. So what do you think? What do you think about what I had up there? Why were you suckered into voting for him?
I don't think I was suckered in. I think I had the freedom to vote.
Well, no. Being suckered doesn't mean that you were forced into doing it. Those are two different things. Forced and suckered are not the same thing, Blue Man.
Well, I'm just saying I wasn't suckered into voting for him.
Are you a billionaire, sir?
I am not a billionaire.
Then you were suckered. Yeah.
That's your choice, yeah.
No, that's my opinion, and it's a strong opinion. I'm not saying it's a 100% fact. I mean, because it's kind of hard to gauge that one. But do you want to give me the specific reasons as to why you voted for Donald Trump, and we can prove that you were suckered?
Yeah, because he's helped me get my job back.
Oh, what happened to your job?
I lost it during the Obama administration, then I lost it during the Biden administration.
Wait, you haven't been working since the Obama administration?
No, I had to work on my own. I was able to go back recently.
What was your job?
A coal miner.
So you're saying you're a coal miner and that you lost your job under Obama. Did
Yep.
Trump brought it back?
Yep,
You lost your job again under Biden, and
exactly.
now the coal mining industry is just blowing up.
It's heavier than what it was. I was able to go back to my current the employer I was laid off.
So are you saying that, oh, okay, so your employer was still doing business the entire time from Obama until today? They didn't shut down during.
No, they shut down. They laid everybody off.
And they were no longer in business?
Correct.
Do you mind can I get the name of that business?
I would rather not because I don't want people to know who I am.
Who you own?
I live in a small town, and I'd
okay,
rather
that's
have
fair
not
enough.
people trying to find who I am.
Who you own? Did you say own?
Who I am.
Oh, did you say AM? I
don't want to find out who am I, right? I don't want them to know.
Yeah,
who
but I think
am.
I heard you say who you own. That was weird.
Own. I live in West Virginia, so maybe I have an accent.
Yeah, no question, bro. That's all right. That's all right. I don't know. Look, there's not much for me to say on this one, I'll admit, because I can't get the full facts on it. But I have a feeling that the coal mining industry didn't pack its bags anytime Obama or Biden was president, and that they just reopened when Trump was president. That doesn't sound right to me. Now, I wouldn't argue with you that maybe there were some layoffs here and there, but I think that happens in every industry. In fact, if you're looking around now, there are layoffs all over the place in manufacturing jobs. We are losing jobs like crazy under the Trump administration this go around. So maybe, is it possible that at your job, you were not working to the satisfaction of the people who were hiring you? Is that possible?
They laid everybody off, so I guess everybody wasn't working to the satisfaction.
So they laid everybody off. In what year? What year?
2015 was the start.
2015, they laid everybody off. And then when did they bring everybody back?
20, I think it was 19. And then we worked about a few years. And then we were laid off again during the Biden administration.
Same company?
There was a couple plants shut down that took the coal that we made.
Was this across the board? Was every single, do you think that this was something that happened to every single coal mining industry or business across the country? Did they do the same exact thing, or were some able to make it a little bit better than others?
Probably not. I live in a small town. I didn't want to move. So I basically worked as a handyman. Okay,
so you were able to have a job.
Self-employed. Yeah, the manufacturing jobs, in my opinion, are down because we allowed NAFTA, and then China's flooding the markets with a bunch of goods. If you look at the rubber industry, if you look at the tire industry, carbon black, if you look at all these industries, a lot of these industries are doing poorly because of China. China's been able... Go look at a lot of the manufacturing jobs. China's overflooded the markets with a bunch of Chinese materials that now has hurt
over in this country.
Industry. Yes, cheap made stuff. Yeah, look at the tire industry right now. No, they're flooding our markets.
China's being tariffed right now.
Look at the tire industry.
No, we're not buying from China. In fact, the
tires are being produced in China.
I understand you're excited, sir. I know,
sir.
I know you're excited about tires. What you're talking about, though, is the entire manufacturing industries. And it has nothing to do with just tires, sir.
Tires, carbon black.
Sir, your voice is now annoying me, and I've tried to have a conversation with you, but I hate when people talk over me. And since you're brand new to TikTok and you've never been here before, then I'm going to suggest to you to just, whenever you say something and I'm talking, so right now, a lot of industries that try to buy things from China, the prices of the goods and or services that are being purchased from China has gone way down because the prices have gone way up. America's not buying from China nowhere near the amount of the amount that they used to be doing it. The reason why manufacturing jobs are laying people off is because they're replacing people with bots and AI and stuff like that. And that's going to be the future. Do you have children, sir? Oh, he's new to TikTok. He doesn't know how to unmute himself. Do you have children?
No, I don't have children.
Don't have children. It's going to be a bad thing for the future of this country because we have given the keys to the billionaires, and the billionaires are, oh, I'm sorry, we should start saying trillionaires because that's what they're going to become. And the only way they put more money in their pocket is if they continue to pay Americans less and less and less. And how do they do that? They replace you. They replace you with bots. They replace you with AI. That's why the stock market, in a time where the economy is doing so poorly, the stock market is blowing up. Why is the stock market blowing up? Do you have any idea? Not because of tires and rubber. It's because of AI. AI is blowing up the stock market during a terrible economic time. And the reason why AI is blowing that up is because manufacturing jobs have decided that that is much cheaper and I could put way more money in my pocket instead of paying these fucking idiots.
That's not completely true.
It is not completely true, but there is a lot of truth to it. There's a lot more nuance to these things to where one thing doesn't make everything true. So I'm going to give you that, but that is a catalyst, a main catalyst as to why.
It's not because AI is not even there yet. You're crazy if you think that.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, we're talking about this subject. I'm telling you that a lot
But
of
your only argument is that you're crazy if you think that. Again, it's pretty much okay.
You won't let me talk because you can't get the cock out of your mouth.
Yeah, see this poor guy. He's a sad little dude. He's got to say dumb shit like that. And again, a dude that says shit like that, we know what he's hiding. When you say things like that, you're projecting. You know where he's at, right, guys? You know where he's dancing. He's dancing in Club Closet. He's dancing around in Club Closet. You won't let me talk because you want with that fucking debate bro voice. Fuck, I hate the debate bros and their voices. They're all the same. They're all exactly the same. They're like, you won't let me talk because you got a cock in your mouth. Fuck. Living in a lonely world. They can't stop thinking about me, can they? Gracie was bored with me. No, I'm sorry. Sorry to bore him. That takes him to an easy. Oh, and he wasn't even a coal miner? I don't have the ability to see his profile. That's the problem. So he was lying the entire time. You could tell. Yeah, he was a little groiper grifter. Little groiper debate, bro. Yeah, he made up the thing about the fucking... That's what I said. I mean, every once in a while, somebody might have a legitimate argument as to why they voted for Donald Trump because it helped them personally when it comes to the coal mining industry. And you know what? I'll also admit, I don't know a whole bunch about the coal mining industry and how it went during each presidency. So sometimes if you are in the industry, I'm okay with taking your word for it. But, God damn it, I hate this. But again, it's also one of those things that later I could go look up. He's in a small town in West Virginia. That dude ain't in no fucking small town in West Virginia. By the way, did you see the most beautiful thing? He's got a Grindr profile on his main page. See, I told you guys. Club Closet. Did you see that new feature on X that's awesome? All these supposed accounts that are MAGA accounts, you can click on it and now find out what country it's from. And they've exposed so many of these MAGA accounts coming from country, Russia, China, all this stuff. I don't understand why Elon would allow that. That kind of backfired. And surely there's left ones too, but the right-wing propaganda accounts on X, those are dominated by right-wing bots. Dominated. And it is so funny. Yeah, I have one from Tel Aviv. And so a lot of them, it's these like incredibly hot women that fool these dumb fucks. Wow, she responded to me. And yeah, they all turn out that many of them are from different countries, which we already knew, but it's funny to see them, India. It's funny to see them exposed. Funny to see them exposed. But anyway, all right. This was fun. What do you guys think? Was it fun? Did we have fun tonight? I had fun, I think, even despite my headache. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap up right now. And we'll come back again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. I'm sure that TT isn't much better. Yeah, you're Silver Fairy Princess. You are right. Kizra, thank you. Carol. I'm always going to remember that from now on. It was good. Thank you, Lynn. Wish there were better guests. I mean, but yeah, Atomic Dog. They're all annoying, aren't they? Am I wrong? You demolished that one dude. Thank you, Theron. I don't know which one, but I was a little off tonight. Who said that? Al Fiore. Sorry, Al. Sorry to disappoint you, pal. Good night, Kizra. Desperate, Grace says. Who's desperate? Me? Am I desperate? I'm desperate to hit my fucking bed. So if that's what you're talking about, Grace, you're right. I agree. Damn, I came in late. Funny stuff, though. Like the vibe. Thank you, Sunset. Thank you. Have you followed me? Are you a follower? Thank you for coming. You're one of my favorite debaters. Oh, thank you, Rad. Rad's Rad Sweet Pea. Thank you, Rad. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll have a great Monday. I want you to do the same, Sunflower Rick, please. That is a request that I would love to hear tomorrow. We're almost at 200,000 likes. Where are we at? Wait, maybe we'll stick it out to 200,000 likes. We're at 193. Let's get to 200,000 likes. We can listen to the fucking Eagles. Maybe we can hit 200,000 likes by the end of this song. How about that? I'll even participate on my iPad a little bit, which I never do, by the way. Nobody wants to come home. Thank you, Georgia Dot. Thank you so much. Let's see. You were good. Guess not so much. Thank you, Darlene. You get what you project, Grace says. Okay. Thank you, Georgia Dot. Thank you so much. Sometime before the sun comes up. Amy! Mayday Amy's here. Always great to see you. Good show, even though Hoodlum was here. I know, Amy. There's so many people don't like him. They just don't like this guy. Darren, I thought it was Hoodlum. I already had forgotten his name. LOL. We had Zach. We had Hoodlum and that other debate bro who pretended like he was in the coal mining industry. How do you the coal mining industry's got to go anyway, because my God, those poor people. That's an awful job. How do you have a company close down during Obama, then open it during Trump, and then close down? Yeah, again, it's full of shit, big dog. Grace says 3 more years. Grace is, wait, let me see. Grace is indeed a bot. I fucking knew it. Grace Moore's a bot. Don't pay attention to Grace. Fucking knew it. Can't wait to see Judge Brian or Circus Leader. I almost did it tonight, Jeremy, but my head hurts and I just kind of wasn't feeling it. Thank you, Sunset. Thank you for following me. Georgia Dot, I love listening to you. I love you being here, Georgia Dot. Thank you. And you've been very kind and very loyal, and I very much appreciate it. You hit 10,000 last night, did you, Mayday Amy? Wow, look at me. By the way, let's follow Mayday Amy. You hit 10,000, and you had an account that was gone, right? Am I wrong there? We hit 200, by the way. 202. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, it is Thanksgiving week, everybody. All right, I'll read a few more comments and then we'll go. This is so refreshing. It is dark on the right. Yeah, I got depressed following them. Yeah, Sunset, they're depressing. Thank you, Lynn Beeman. Thank you. Ms. Sean, which is stupid, and Trump stopped the health benefits. Correct. There's that bot, Grace. Pay no attention to Grace. It's a bot. It's weird out of all of them. I can tolerate hoodlums somewhat. Nickel. Yeah, I mean, some people it's just like, I don't know. Anyway. All right. Love all of you guys. And I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Your backup. Wow, that is phenomenal, Amy. Good for you. That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. But guys, thank you for the taps. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the comments. And just thank you for being here as always. I really do. I really, really, really appreciate it. I do. And I thank you all the moderators that come here too and help out the lives. Thank you guys. I couldn't ask for better mods. So thank you for helping me out when I need it.